Tonight, we catch up with this week's Flight Sim news. We show a thing. We're joined by a man with a face. The Black Friday whip around, what's good to get, and a Christmas shopping list. Right, do you know, I mean, it's very fancy, isn't it? Look at the state of what we have, man. Hello, everybody. You're very welcome along to another Microsoft Flight Simulator stream, man. And you join us here on a Wednesday, the middle of the week. Let's get over the hump day. Be Janie then, it's almost the weekend. Hope you're keeping very well. Look at this thing. Look at this state. Right, so What we see before us here, friends, well, this is the Avro Vulcan by Just Flight, and it's a sneak peek at what will be released next week. And I have some details here. Big shout out to Just Flight. Fair play to God. I've been nagging them like you wouldn't believe. Nagging and the nagging and the nagging. So, we'll have an introduction. We're going to have a little look at this aircraft this evening. We have all our flight sim news for the week. Then the one and only Gibbo Ireland is going to be joining us as we chat about some of the Black Friday deals. Save yourself a fortune on a whole load of stuff. Then we also chat about, well, what we think should be on your Christmas shopping list. This is one of them. Yeah, we'll just, it's going to be one of them. It's going to be one of them. So, the one and only Gibbo. Did you not like that? No. Hello to everyone watching us over on YouTube. Very happy Wednesday to you. And for those of you here on Twitch, Asha, how are you? It's Wednesday, the middle of the week. It's time for the news. Do you remember the time I almost didn't say news? Right. Anyway, that's not important. That's not important. What do you think of it? It's very pretty, isn't it? So I have my beacon lights turned on. That's all I know so far. There's a lot of stuff going on with this aircraft, lads. Let me tell you, right? All sorts of Bajani Mac. We also got a raid there during the startup by Arch NDA. You're very welcome aboard. Hope you had a great stream, man. And welcome in, raiders. And for everyone else who's here, hope you're having a great week so far, lads. We can almost, hear the weekend coming at us. And, well, exciting times for sure. So, we'll delve over to the news now shortly, but I just wanted to give kind of a quick introduction to this aircraft. We'll fly through the news, then we're going to have a closer look at this thing. I'm even going to start up the engines for you. What? Right. But that'll be about it. I'm going to spend a lot of time with this aircraft because I want to be able to show you guys how to do the thing with the yoke and the how to fly it basically, right? So I thought I'd go for the old nighttime effect because it looks rather nice. Do you know? But we'll tidy up all this here now in a moment, and but you know what I mean. We'll get it up and running. So hang on, let me just tidy up some stuff here, right? We'll make it daytime again, and we had a bit of oversaturation, which is fine. It does that. There we go. Now look at the state of this. So as you can see from the exterior, Jez, I better turn off the old battery. How do we do this, Murph? Success. The buttons work. From the exterior modelling. Just Flight released this aircraft on other platforms before, P3D and also X-Plane. And well, the one that the one for Microsoft Flight Simulator, well, this aircraft has been completely built from the ground up, including a brand new sound set. And we're going to talk about the sounds here now in a moment because, well, there's a lot going on with them, right? But as you can see from the texture work, the modelling, everything that you can see here, and albeit this still work in progress, it's still a beta. It's not the final release candidate. They still have a couple of things they need to include. I haven't found any major issues with it, which is always a great sign. But you tend not to find major issues with Just Flight stuff. They've been working on this for quite some time, and it's very, very exciting to actually see it now in the sim. We saw the screenshots of this thing. We've been following it on the news for quite some time now. And to be able to see this aircraft in the flesh, virtually, as it were, well, it's very exciting. So, it comes with a number of different liveries. There's different models included, different engine types, and you can kind of see, I mean, the pictures don't do it. Well, it might be sharper on YouTube, but you can see the textures, lads. The aircraft in particular is that of XM655. This is the one that they got the actual recordings from, right? And there's a whole load of stuff going on here. It's a massive aircraft. Huge. It's absolutely massive. I do have some details when it's going to be released, the price of which they're going to release it for, and what you can expect to kind of get in terms of your bang for your buck, as it were, right? They've modelled pretty much everything with this aircraft, including munitions. So, open the bomb bay doors, Hal. So they're all here, look. It's exquisite detailing. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Look at the state of that. Look at the rivets. The riveting. Look, I'll show you, look. Right? Beautiful. Jesus, you'd fit a Skoda car in that. But anyway, talking about the munition stores at the bomb bay. So the aircraft can be configured as a bomber, right? It can also carry a big super holy moly, something that the Irish invented. But it can also be configured as a refueling aircraft, which is pretty nice. Because you can see that, well, it's capable of air-to-air refueling. She has a fuel probe on the nose. But it can also refuel other aircraft when it's moving around. But from the control surfaces, the leading edge of this beautiful, massive delta wing, and the little things Like, you know, your friggin' landing lights. It's all done very, very well, isn't it? Do you know? So, we'll get into the details and the nitty gritty here now in a second, right? But that's it from the external, and a ton of different liveries and different types and all that sort of jazz, right? So I do have some news, right? It's a preview copy of the Vulcan. It features the latest complete build. However, it's not fully finished. They're still beta testing it, and you know they're hoping to have any bugs squished by the time they go to release this, right? So the sound set, this is just awesome, right? This build includes it's almost completed, sound set for the Olympus 301 engines that they actually recorded from XM655. That was earlier this year. There was a video, I think, on YouTube. You guys saw the recording of it, right? The Olympus 301 engines, they didn't actually have that iconic howl noise. It was a lot less than what you'd often refer to the Vulcan saying, wow, the sounds, the howl. But the Olympus 301 engines didn't actually have such a loud howl. However, the Olympus 201 engines that included the iconic howl will be added to the release of this aircraft. So you'll have the best of both worlds. You can choose the 301 engines or the 201 engines. You actually have both. That's pretty awesome, isn't it? How cool is that? Awesome. So they'll separate it. They'll say these are the 301 engines, these are the 201 engines, and so on and so forth, right? So some of the main features with the aircraft is a fully functional forward cockpit with effectively every control switch fully functioning and performing to their intended purposes. We talk about study level, right? 3D modeled panels for the Airborne Electrical Officer, the AEO, and also the navigator positions in the rear cockpit. All systems are accurately simulated based on the real-world Vulcan manuals and input from real Vulcan aircrew and engineers. The systems include, are you sitting down now? Custom-coded electrical systems with alternators, Airborne Auxiliary Power Plant, that's the AAPP, ram air turbine, synchronized bus bar, has the engine start system with normal and rapid engine start capability. The flight control systems with powered flying controls, the PFCs, auto stabilizers, and Mach trimmers. It has the hydraulic system, including the electrically operated hydraulic power pack, autopilot with various lateral and vertical modes of operation, and so much more. Right? High quality modelling, as you can see, 4K and 8K cockpit textures are provided to cater for all PC specifications. There are 3 variants included. You have the B, the Mark II, the K2, and the M or R, including a vast array of configurable aircraft equipment such as antennas, air-to-air refueling probes, and the electronic countermeasures. The computer measures. Murphy, you big idiot. Also, a range of payload options that can be fitted to the aircraft's bomb bay or on the external hardpoints, one of which is Blue Steel. If anyone did your homework about Blue Steel, it was technically the UK's nuclear deterrent, where it just flew around with a giant nuke kind of planted underneath it. Pretty cool, right? It's the nuclear standoff missile. It also has the WE-177 nuke, 1,000-pound bomb, saddle bomb bay tanks, the cylindrical bomb bay tanks, an AGM-45 Shrike anti-radiation missile, MRR pods, so on and so on and so on. There's so much going on. It also includes a brand new electronic flight bag with the following features. It has an aircraft app. We'll have a look at that tonight. It's a customized page that allows users to load the payload, equip external equipment, configure the aircraft, the load fuel, and even simulate air-to-air refueling. But it's going to come with SimBrief support, Navigraph charts support, and other features of the EFB include a checklist app, map app, notes app, top of descent calculator, and other general settings. They've accurately simulated the Olympus 201 and 301 engines, each with their own dedicated flight models that highlights the difference in thrust between the two. Incredibly immersive double-wise sound set from both the Olympus 201 and the 301 recorded from the real aircraft, including the iconic howl. Realistic flight model that represents the aircraft's maneuverability in the low altitude, low speed regime, and also exceptional climb performance to altitude. Over 25 lighting controls in the cockpit to control the interior and exterior lighting for an immersive lighting environment. Rotating beacons, as we've just seen, are also included. Microsoft Flight Sim interactive checklist is included, and a comprehensive manual with over 150 pages. I know, because I started reading them. all to do with the plane's systems, descriptions. There's even a tutorial flight in there to take you step by step, teaching you how to fly this aircraft. There's even an airshow display routine put in there to show you this is what the Vulcan used to do at some air shows. Isn't that absolutely brilliant? Absolutely brilliant. So, what can I tell you? There was other news here now. Where was this? I was going to put it. Yes. The Just Flight Avro Vulcan B Mark II, K2 and MRR for Microsoft Flight Simulator will release on Tuesday, November 28th, and will be priced at a lower consumer-friendly price of £27.99 or €29.99 or $32.99. It'll be initially sold exclusively through Just Flight, followed by third-party resellers, and eventually the marketplace for both the Xbox and PC. At this time, we're unable to provide exact dates for the marketplace release. So it's going to be on Xbox and PC eventually. But the initial release, slated for next Tuesday, you're going to pick it up from Just Flight, right? What am I going to do next Monday? Probably a tutorial on this. So next Monday's flight is going to be an introduction to the Vulcan, and I'll actually do a ferry flight. You guys fly along in whatever fighters that you want as well, but it's going to be a tutorial flight. So, you know, come release day, well, you'll know what to do, or at least have an idea to be able to get so far with the aircraft. A basic introduction, if you will. Do you know what I mean? So, yes, that's all the jazz here with this, isn't it? So we'll go back to the Vulcan in a few moments. And I know you're, but we have the news to do, and I'm on a schedule. So we'll get back to this now in a sec. But I want to talk to you about this week's news, lads. There's a lot of news this week. And before I even get to the news, well, sure, you need to ramble in. And you know what I mean? We need to say hello to everyone, because you're very good for joining me here on this Wednesday evening. So before we go any further, I have to jump into the chat and say hello. So we have Sean Dale, good to see you. Captain Sickbag, Dougal McTavish, Wombat, hide the wallets, lads. It's great to see everyone. Naughty Gnome is here. You're very welcome aboard. Robert J56 is here. David Bay, good to see you. Captain Sickbag, Ailerons into Wind, Adam Controls, Gibbo Ireland. You're all very welcome in, lads. Hemming Bird is here. Fierce Wolf, good to see you. Energizer in the house. Sterling rambles in, along with Viper Strike. It's great to see you, man. Who else? Trevo is over here on YouTube. You're very welcome aboard. Now, let me see. The stream has been starting for almost 7 minutes. Yeah, but it's like the cinema. Come in and sit down. No talking. Turn off your phone. That sort of crack. Do you know? But yes, Night Zepp is good to see you. Chalks, you're very welcome aboard. Jeppison 2001 is here. You can see I'm trying to be fast here, lads. Black Ice Gabe is here. Good to see you. Let me see now. We'll catch up. Let me see. Anthony, you're very welcome in. Aerofly is in the house. Welcome aboard. Kozaki is here. How are you? Now, who else? Spitfire RAF. You're very welcome aboard, man. Happy Wednesday. Kingsman is here. Simon Taylor over on YouTube. Evening all. He says, I'm after losing it, but then I found it again. Newsday. Yes, indeed. But yeah, I hope you're all keeping very well, lads. If I miss anyone, just start shouting. Murphy, a big Aegis. But yeah, Simon Taylor, you're very welcome. Paparazzi is here. Welcome in. Tritz, Trevo, all good to see you, lads. Trevo again. Does anyone talk in the stream? First time here, or is it just music? Oh no, we all talk, Trevo. Don't worry, you won't be able to get me to shut up. It's grand though. It's totally fine. Flying Shamrock, it's good to see you. Airborne Rookie is in the house. Welcome aboard. Teardog is here. Memphis Ton, good to see you. Now we're catching up here, lads. Let me see. Rusticrate, welcome in. I feel that this stream is going to cost me money. Shh, it's fine. Abana says, find me some bargains, Gibbo. Telling you. Gibbo has a sorted. You want to see what he's going to be shown. But yes, Batelli, welcome in. Let me see now. Who else? Muse Fan is here. How are you, Muse? Muse gave us a resub for tier 3, lads, for like 17 years or something. Banana stuff. Thank you very much indeed. And anyone else, if I've missed any subs, just say, Murphy, you're such an idiot. We did a thing and you missed it. Right. But yes, we're getting through it. Tricky, welcome in. Now, who else? Let me see. Mr. Dan, happy Wednesday. Alan Cook is here. You're very welcome aboard. Old Veteran 965. How are you, Scott? Hope all is well. Now, let's see. We're catching up here. Super Typhon. Hope you're well, dude. Saw your message. Condolences to you. Hope you're hanging on in there, mate. Mike Coffey. This is logical. It's hard to say. Indeed. Andrew Williams. Call it the Vulcan. That would be logical, Captain. But yes, now where are we at? Zythi, good evening. Mechanical Madness is here. Good morning from down under in New Zealand. How are you, man? Long time no see. Now, when has the schedule ever bothered you? Don't worry, schedules? Come on. Well, yeah, no, they never do. Gary JF, good to see you. Scorpio is here. Loviz, welcome in. Eddie G, good to see you. Now, let me see. I'm not complaining. Just at work and looking forward to the news. Very good, Trevo. No hassle at all. Just don't worry about complaining. Gunho Guy is here. Muttley, you're very welcome in. This URL not found. Welcome in, man. Hope you're well. Tarmo, good to see you. Mike is here. Vacuum is here again. Good to see you. Right, now, brilliant. Right, we're caught up. And if I forgot anyone, my deepest sorries and Jesus. We're running out of time. Right, the news, lads. We're going to get through this. There's not an awful lot, to be honest. But there is still a nice bit. So, Flight Sim Studio AG. These are the guys who brought us out the P2006G Technam, and they're also still working on the E-Jet series, most notably the 175 and I think the 195, right? And but yeah, Rayburn, good to see you. So they've released a new one. This is the Technam P2012. Ooh, it's the Traveller for Microsoft Flight Sim. So they're back with a new aircraft release for Microsoft Flight Sim, and this time it's another from the Technam family. Arguably more known for their Embraer Jet series, they have been available since earlier this year, the 195 just around the corner. FSS have been releasing some comprehensive models of the Technam aircraft. First up with the P2006, and now this time they're here with the 2012. The 2012 Traveller, modelled after its real-world counterpart, developed by Italian manufacturer Construzione Aeronautiche Technam. Them fellas, right? Let's just call them CAT. CAT, brilliant. It's a multi-purpose utility aircraft known for its versatility and efficiency. Technam, it's a name that's becoming, well, very prominent in the general aviation category, in particular when it comes to flight schools, because, well, they're extremely efficient, right? Fuel saving, price per hour, way, way less than most other aircraft, right? Anyway, their rendition attempts to capture the essence of this modern aircraft, offering users a highly detailed and accurate simulation. In partnership with Alpine Air, they've now recreated the machine for Microsoft Flight Sim. This collaborative effort that saw real-world pilots advising on the project, ensuring that the virtual P2012 systems and flight behaviour mirror that of the real deal. Nice. So, they promise the impressive visuals with the 2012, detailed 3D models, high-resolution textures. Every switch click, every engine roar is captured to provide an immersive auditory experience. Customization and versatility are also at the core of this project. It comes with 5 cabin configurations: airline, combi, medevac, cargo, and the dreaded skydive, which provides a range of options to suit various virtual flying missions. Simmers will also find a customised G1000 NXI, an electronic engine control, and accurate electrical systems based on the aircraft flight manual. Pretty cool. It also includes the new Flight Sim Studios Mission Hub, with missions based on real-world operations, further enhancing the realism and immersion of the experience. It's an extension of the same feature set recently introduced for the P2006. There's a bit of a video here. I'll show you this briefly, right? Because, you know, Murphy, your time and all of that. But have a look at this. It's a cracker, little cracker of a plane, right? Now, what am I doing here? I'm doing one of these. Look, hang on. I'll press a button. We'll make the thing do that. No comedians now. And we'll do one of these. Mind the volume. There we go. Big shout out to Aviation, lads. The legends.
Oh, behave.
So what do you think of this, lads? I told you, doesn't it look fierce impressive? It looks lovely. Great works again by Aviation lads. Man alive, they know how to make some cracking videos. But it's a super looking airplane. And one it's on the list. It's on the list. So moving on, let me see. Where's the button over here? Look, yes. It's now available for purchase. It's priced at €40. What? With plans for wider availability through the Microsoft online store in the future. So you can pick it up over on Aerosoft. Or I think it's on Contrail as well. It's around $40, lads. It's kind of hefty, isn't it? Right, you know, a little bit of the... Is my camera thingy broken again, look? Isn't it? I need to fix that. How does that keep resetting? But anyway, yeah, it's not cheap. Sure it's not. Anyway, moving on. Taog's Hangar. These lads brought us the Alouette. Well, they're back now with a new helicopter, the SA-315B, the Llama. Yes, the Llama. Developed by the French aerospace manufacturer Sud Aviation, then later Aerospatiale, the Llama is a variant of the Alouette 2, equipped with a powerful engine of the Alouette 3. The design made is particularly effective at high altitude conditions, a niche it excelled during the late 1960s. Its fame was cemented in 1972 when it set a world record for the highest altitude landing and takeoff on Mount Everest even. It's like Mount Everest. Today, the Llama is still in use around the world, especially in regions where its high altitude capabilities are essential, right? This is pretty cool. Again, there's another video and it looks class, so we have to show it just even briefly, but I'll play this as I'm kind of chatting around it, right? And I've no sound here because that's just the way it works. But I will say, right, Taog's Hangar, when they released the Alouette 3, it came with it a massive feature list, right? And it also came along with some incredible sounds. Now, the Alouette 3 is not everyone's cup of tea. It's mad looking. I love it. Do you know what I mean? It has great character. But the Llama is a little bit more kind of toned down. As you can see from the shots here, well, it's not as mad looking. But again, having that kind of canopy, that big open glass canopy, the bubble canopy, it's stunning. Your view in this thing in VR, or if you're using something like the Tobii eye tracker, it's really, really great. You can also see here that they've added in some additional features, such as firefighting capabilities, and you can even carry cargo on the hoist system, which you can winch up and winch down. Also has search and rescue, medevac, all the usual jazz. The sounds are very, very good on this thing. They're brilliant, right? And other exciting news, this developer is working on a fleet of aircraft. I mean a fleet of them. The Huey is in there, and he also, I saw pictures upcoming of the Dauphin, the SA-365. Anyone who knows what the Dauphin is, I think it was called the Panther in the United States, most notable for the Coast Guard. Well, that's in development as well, amongst others. But this is a great chopper. It tries to kill you. I like that characteristic of any sort of an add-on, something that tries to kill you. And it's very, very good. It's now released. You can pick it up from flightsim.to, and it's priced at $29.15. $29.15, not bad. And it's available from flightsim.to. It's part of the premium lineup. So great work from Taog's Hangar there. So staying with helicopters, where's Epic Fool when you need him? Epic, where are you? This is class. Miltech Simulations. These lads brought us the Osprey, and they also brought us the Carrier Command or the Carrier Pro add-ons as well. They're working on the iconic CH-47, the D variant of the Chinook. Chinook, right? They've shared some more information about it. The preview focused on the cockpit of the helicopter, showing the instrument panel, the center console, the collective, overhead panel, and more. The previews features a lot of detail and modelling when it comes to the textures. It looks fantastic. Look at the picture there, look. I mean, right, Chinook. Could you imagine trying to fly this thing, right? So, team also gave an insight into what features we can expect to be included with the helicopter. It'll feature a fully modelled interior, exterior and cargo bay, all in high detail with high quality modelling and textures. The chopper will also feature cargo loading capabilities, as well as the ability to sling load in the interior. Systems-wise, the team states that their CH-47 will be a comprehensive yet practical rendition of the real-world counterpart. Essential systems have been modelled to a great degree of depth, while others will be visual only. The helicopter also uses an optional GPS unit. Also featured is a custom advanced control system, the AFCF. Miltech Simulations states that the sounds have been recorded from a real CH-47 and will feature accurate and immersive sounds. The chopper is going to include its own EFB, a mission pack requiring you to carry payloads from one place to another, and 15 liveries. Though the team is working on the D variant, which remains the focus for now, they're also considering the more modern F variant of the Chinook for a future development. No ETA or price just yet. I will share a couple of pictures though, because anyone who likes these choppers, I think it looks great. A Chinook in the Sim, I mean, that's what you need, do you know? You can load them up to your heart's content. But you can see from it here, it's the texture work looks nice on the panels, isn't it? It's not bad at all. It's cool looking. Now, have we got an exterior shot of the thing? Y'all know what a Chinook looks like, don't you? CH-47D, CH-47D. It's one of these, look. One of them, lads. Right? That'll be me hanging out the window like Ace Ventura trying to drive. It's one of them. Fantastic, right? But anyway, great news from Miltech. They're working on that. No details yet. Now, this is huge, right? This I have, but I can't show it, but I want to tell you about it. India Foxed Echo and Heat Blur Simulations. Well, they've released a trailer for their upcoming F-14. Right, now, it seems we're just 2 more weeks away from the arrival of what promises to be the best military fighter jet simulation yet for Microsoft Flight Simulator. The legendary F-14 Tomcat from Heat Blur Simulations and India Foxed Echo, announced earlier this year, just got a fantastic new trailer filled with Top Gun inspirations and an exciting couple more weeks of waiting for its deployment. Now, let's play this, because you need to see it here in the background, right? Heat Blur Simulations, by the way, anyone, I know that name, they're from DCS, and they've made the F-14 in DCS, which is one of the most incredible looking aircraft in DCS. It's beautiful, right? In saying that, India Foxed Echo, well, they're well known within the space of Microsoft Flight Simulator. There's all things happening. They brought in Empire. Good to see you, man. You're very welcome aboard. Hope you had a great stream, dude. India Foxed Echo brought out the MB339, the 346. They have the F-35s. They have a couple of aircraft already in the sim. And they also did ships as well, battleships and all the sort of jazz. Anyway, they're working on this aircraft along with Heat Blur. And that's very, very exciting because, well, look at it, right? This thing is showing us attention to detail from modeling and texture work we haven't really seen in the sim just yet. And when it comes to some of the systems and some of the capabilities of this aircraft, including stuff that has never been seen in Microsoft Flight Sim before, it's very, very exciting. More news on that as we get to release some more information on that. But if you like flying the F-14s, well, this has definitely got to be on your list, and it's something I will show on a stream soon. Give you guys a good idea what to expect from it. But as you can probably see from the trailer, I mean, it looks superb, doesn't it? I mean, it looks amazing. Do you know? Epic, thank you or Empire, beg your pardon, thank you very much indeed. Look at that for support. 17 months, look. Be the genie, Mac. But yeah, the trailer work here it's incredible. But like anyone with Heat Blur, do you know what I mean? Look at the state of that. Look. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's mandatory to wear a pair of aviator glasses whilst flying this aircraft. Yeah, day or night, right? That's just what you need to do. But it looks super, and I know this aircraft is going to be on a lot of people's lists because it just looks fantastic, right? So, not much known about it. However, Heat Blur, acclaimed rendition of the aircraft in DCS, we're looking at an instant classic for Microsoft Flight Sim 2. There's no functional weapons, but the developers promise some cool stuff, such as Gesture AI, a cutting-edge AI radar intercept officer that will enhance the realism of the F-14 simulation. The AI is designed to assist pilots in various scenarios, allowing them to focus on the intricate aspects of flying this legendary aircraft. More news on that. So no release date just yet that I can see, but it should be available before Christmas. And like, look at the state of it, do you know? So moving on, flight replicas. Did anyone notice we have a new set of Spitfires in the sim? They've released the Mark 1A and the Mark 2A for Microsoft Flight Sim, released directly onto the marketplace. The Supermarine Spitfire needs no introduction. First flown on the 5th of March 1936, it's a true aviation legend, renowned for its role, of course, in the Battle of Britain and throughout the Second World War. Flight replicas Spitfire for Microsoft Flight Sim includes the Mark 1A, crucial in the 1940 development phase, and the Mark 2A variant, representing the evolution of the historic aircraft. An added bonus for simmers is the prototype Mark 1A LR, or the long range, a unique variant designed to extend the Spitfire's operational range. The developer has more variants in line for launch, such as the Mark 5B, which we previewed some months back. As usual from Flight Replicas, we're looking at a fairly detailed and historically accurate aircraft. Some interesting details, such as the fact that these models reflect the switch from the 87 octane to 100 octane fuel in 1940, which enhanced the performance of the Merlin engine. As for the cockpit, it features a mix of functional and non-functional elements, including the mag switches, an oxygen panel, and a detailed main panel. The package promises an authentic flying experience, replicating that of the Spitfire for its renowned handling and controllability, and pilots can expect a sensitive elevator compared to other aircraft and need to be cautious during crosswind takeoffs and landings. It's available now in the marketplace for both PC and Xbox, priced at $19.49. It's the fifth aircraft release from Flight Replicas. They also brought us out the Grasshopper, the PL-11, the P-40, and of course the Fox Moth. I will be showing this one off because before you press the button, the sounds are right. They're there kind of, but not really. So it's sounds is I would say a potential letdown on the aircraft. They're not bad, but you compare it to something like what Flying Iron have or Airplane Heaven. They're not at the races. But then again, the price point might reflect that. They're still quite good. Do you know? Does anyone have this already? What do you think, lads? But great stuff from Flight Replicas. Now, moving on, we've seen this, and there's all sorts of controversy stuff going on. But anyway, InnyBuilds, the A320, has been released as part of the latest Sim Update 14, the beta that is. So anyone who's involved with the beta for Sim Update 14, well, they now have access to the InnyBuilds A320 Neo. This was designed to enhance the default A320 within the sim, and it's clear from the streams I've watched, there's a lot of features, right? It's a very complete aircraft. The controversy around it seems to be a line of code that seemed to went from one place to another place without the first place knowing about the other place, right? We won't get into that because I don't know enough about it. Just be aware there's a bit of, hey, what's going on here? Anyway, InnyBuilds, they're not new to these sort of partnerships with Microsoft Flight Sim. We've seen it already with the A310 and so on. The A320, it does look superb. This aircraft will be available with Sim Update 14, which is going to be a free update. And we're going to expect that next month, in and around the 5th of December. A couple of weeks away, lads, right? So you might be saying, oh, another A320. Yes, there's another A320. Airbus lovers rejoice, I suppose. Interesting. Also got released last week is a massive scenery pack from Orbex. They've completed the Great Britain scenery as they released Great Britain South. Now, basically what Orbex do, it's similar to like a world update from Microsoft Flight Sim. Orbex have a look at all the scenery, they tidy it up, they put in proper points of interest, they model an absolute load of them, and they kind of tweak things. They correct some kind of textures, they put in coastlines, and they'll model in, be it buildings, landmarks, even cliffs, and that's what they've done here. So they've now released it. There's over 700 highly detailed POIs, points of interest, immersive tours and missions from many churches, castles and historic landmarks, custom animated animals, as you do, and there's helipads across a range of select landmarks. They've also tweaked the custom night lighting. It's more closer to what you'd expect to see in the UK. And it's also optimized for performance through the efficient use of 3D modeling and texturing techniques, LOD essentially. Fully compatible with World Update 3 and designed in line with Great Britain North and Central packs. It's available now from Orbex. You can pick it up for about £10. Couple of gigs of an install. They're not a small install, but considering you're getting so many points of interest, anyone who's UK based or likes flying in the UK, tis a must. Tis a must because you're really, really going to like it, And if you're shouting at me, lads, in the chat, and I'm ignoring you, I'm not ignoring you. I can see things fast, but it's just, there's a bit to cover tonight. But don't worry, I can still see things. I can see comments like, I hope that they optimize the A320, and Sean Dale has all the Orbex products, right? They're having loads of fun. Anyway, quick word over to Callum and the lads at FS Elite. And we'll give Callum a shout out, of course, and Vasco from msfsaddons.com. That's where I go to get all my news. RD Presets, well, they've released Marseille Airport for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Again, aviation lads are here with a stunning video, right? They've released Marseille Provence International Airport. It's a large airport located about 16 miles northwest of Marseille. It's a major gateway to the Provence region that handles domestic and international flights served by Air Algiers, Air Corsica, Air France, Air Transat, British Airways, so on, so on, so on. Even Ryanair get a shout in there as well, which is pretty cool. Husker Du doesn't believe me. Quick look at the video here. Look, it looks very nice, right? Let's crank it up here again. Oh, 4K for 4K. Do you know what I mean? And we'll do one of these here briefly, just to give you an idea, right? Looks very nice. It looks very pretty, doesn't it? The absolute state of it, lads. That's all we can say. So we'll let the trailer play on there for a bit here in the background. But they've released Marseille Provence for the sim. And some of the features down here, look. We'll have an old gawk down here. You can pick it up over on Contrail. It's priced at £18.99. Features a replica of Marseille Provence, animated jetways, completely custom modelled textures, along with PBR, physical based rendering. Full custom high replica 3D interior, including 3D passengers, more than 1,000 cluttered objects in around the apron and the surrounding areas, custom ground textures, faithfully recreating the asphalt differences, performance optimizations, accurate night lighting, custom taxiway signage, ground traffic, and many more. It's now available. And I see Goblin Zeus, is this your neck of the woods? It looks stunning, lads, doesn't it? It's very, very pretty. RD Presets do a great job when it comes to scenery, and it's nice to see that they've done the interior here as well. It's always great when they do the interior, isn't it? And some beautiful screenshots of this airport, and it is in a stunning location around Provence, all that neck of the woods. Sci-Alpine. No, wait, is it Transalpine? Transalpine. No, yeah. You think I'd know this? You know, the Romans. But anyway, that's available now. You can pick it up. And moving on, we have I Blue Yonder and Parallel 42. Well, they've released Cheat River Island for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I Blue Yonder and Parallel 42 have announced an exciting new partnership. This collaboration will leverage the talents of both developers to create highly detailed and immersive new sceneries for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Pretty cool, right? Astros, thank you very much. Transalpine, thank you, Gregor. Transalpine, how we got there in the end. Anyway, like all scenery packages from Parallel 42, Cheat River Island offers a unique challenge for pilots, as the airstrip is perched on a river island, representing or presenting a thrilling, non-direct approach with specific instructions for approaches from various directions, emphasizing the need for careful planning and skillful flying. So basically, don't do a typical overhead join at this place. It won't end well, right? Now, again, the trailers tonight, they look so good, lads, right? So, I don't think I can get away with playing Edson's music, so I'll play this one and see what happens, right? We'll say nothing for a minute and just look. But look at the state of it. Logs. They have logs. Now, I will say this. A point of order needs to be kind of said. I didn't see any Skodas. My heart is broken. Edson, it's Murph. Where's the Skoda? As you can see from the trailer, this thing is ideal for the Juice Goose. You can go driving around and everything. You can drive, you can fly. Do you know what I mean? It looks beautiful. Awesome work on the trailer. It's such a picturesque, stunning location. There's all sorts of stuff. Even a barbecue look. There's loads going on. So it's pretty awesome. So Cheat River Island available now through the developer's website for just $12. United States dollars, that is. That's pretty cool, isn't it? So Parallel 42, they're known for making these, well, they call them scenes. But that's what they are. They're not just a scenery, they're a whole scene. They're giving you like pretty much everything. There's character, there's a storyline, and you have like some awesome ways to kind of create a little bit of role playing. For example, Timmy's on the tractor with Jimmy and Vinny. What are they doing? Do you see the tractor driving right? A drivable, well, it's not a drivable, it's a driving tractor. A driving right, I don't know where we're going next, lads, but it looks brilliant. He has class, no Skodas, not to mention we don't allow them in the United States. Sorry, Scott, your reception is terrible. Can you say that? I can't see it. Where's that banhammer? But yes, there's something missing in the name at the top of the page. Huh? Oh, there is! It's not parallel, it's just para. There's no L. Look at that! Look at Muse Fan! He moonlights as a sniper spotter. Jesus, how did he cop that? They have it done down here, Muse. You know, for the OCD in you. Look, they fixed it down here, look. Hang on, Jesus. Look, there it is now, look. Yes. Yes. God almighty. I need to be careful. You can see that sort of small detail. Right, moving on. Navigraph. Have you done this yet? The survey, the annual survey, between November 17th to 27th, flight simulation enthusiasts have the opportunity to participate in this comprehensive survey. I highly recommend you fill out the survey. It takes about 10 minutes, give or take, but it gives not only us, but also developers, in particular third-party developers, an idea of what kind of trends we want in the sim. And I request all members of the Flying Circus put in, we want more Skodas. I think it's a great thing, you know, right? It'll raise the morale of countless millions, right? And then I can go to Skoda and say, listen, lads, I've done you a solid here. Like, I should be your new mascot. Mascot? Yeah, that works. Skoda, simply Murphy. Right? Brilliant. But anyway, ramble on over. There's a couple of places that you can visit this. If you go to flightsurvey.com, that's one way to go to it. And the participation, it's entirely anonymous. They don't know who you are unless, of course, you say, hey, this is me and I want a Skoda. And so does my wife. But yeah, right. Brilliant. Airborne Rookie, man yourself. Sterling wants a C-130. There you go. You need to tell them what happens when you no longer have a Skoda. Like, that's going to happen. That's never going to happen. I'll always have a Skoda. When this Skoda, you know, gives up the goat, which it never will, but when it's, I've like 366,000 kilometres up in the clock, lads. Do you know how far that is? Far, right? But it'll stay going for a while. But anyway, isn't it brilliant, right? Absolutely brilliant. You can do the own survey. They'll come back then with all the, you know, the trends, what we're doing, what sim are you flying, how often are you flying, are you using airliners, are you using bush aircraft, are you flying choppers, all that sort of stuff. It's the information, it is kind of crucial now when it comes to third-party developers, because it'll allow them to say, oh, hang on, we'll keep going this direction. And even when it comes to the core developers, Microsoft and Asobo, well, they see this stuff as well, and they'll say, aha, that's what they want. When do they want it? Now. And they want more yesterday, and they want even more tomorrow. So it is a very good thing, but it's a way for the entire flight sim community, all of us, the entire bunch of us, to take part in a survey, let them know what we think and what we want, and maybe let them know what we don't want. Do you know? So people giving out about Crocs and Skodas, for example. Do you know? So that's there as well. Right. Just, I'm doing well. I'm do you know, for the Muppet, I'm doing very well. Right, guys, we're going to jump back to this machine here, the Avro Vulcan, because I know you're probably sitting there going, Murph, I can't wait to see this thing. Oh, sure, I know. I'm going to change the time of year so it's a little bit brighter on the subject matter. What do you think? Good idea, bad idea? Good idea. So we're going to jump back into the Vulcan. And as I said, this thing will release next Tuesday, right? And the pricing, just to remind you, it's going to be £27.99 or €29.99 or $32.99 next Tuesday, right? And this is actually quite good from Just Flight. They've made a point in saying it's a consumer-friendly price. They could have easily charged more for this aircraft, and we still would have bought it, right? If memory serves me, this thing was up around $50 when it came to X-Plane. So it's a lot cheaper. So the hope here is, well, a lot more people are going to fly it. And I'm looking forward to the day we're all flying this in a big group, which that day is coming very, very soon. We're going to do a long haul flight in this thing to see what it's all about, right? So, before we get into the nooks and crannies, if you see any sort of bug, error, visual discrepancy, fear not, friends. It's still work in progress. So there might be something there that shouldn't be there. Totally sound. Just let us know and say, Murph, that doesn't look right. And I will pass on that message to Just Flight, who are always very, very quick and very exacting when it comes to issues. Do you know? As in they'll come back to me straight away and say, yeah, got it or didn't get it, right? Just wanted to show you a couple of things up close and personal. How you get into the machine. You get in this way, look. And it's a bit of a mad kind of a stepladder thing. Oh, Jesus. A mad stepladder thing that brings you up there. And we'll get into the cockpit here now in a moment. I just want to show you some of the finer details. So we have all the ground static objects on. Chocks are there, the inlet covers are there, so on and so forth. But I just wanted to kind of show off the level of modelling and the texture work. There's dirt and grime all over this thing. You could do it with a power wash. Do you know what I mean? Isn't it stunning? Like, look at the decals even under here for the landing gear, look. Refueling max delivery pressure, 50 psi, defueling max suction pressure, 11 psi below atmosphere, and there's plenty more right in here. There's a whole load of information. We'll just nod and smile. Right. And of course, you can see all the rivets are there underneath the wing. Look at the surfaces there. As I said, the dirt, the grime. It's absolutely stunning, this thing, isn't it? Stunning. The engines. Funny that we mentioned the Olympus engines. We flew an aircraft last Monday night that featured Olympus engines, and here we have 4 of them. This is the 301s on this aircraft. The aircraft I'm showing you is the 301 variant. She doesn't have the iconic howl as the 201s, but they will release both variants. Both variants will be released with this product. All right. So don't walk here. Look, there's a big don't walk here. Just, you'd be doing well to put your foot in that, wouldn't you? But anyway, look at the friggin' size of this thing. XM655, this is the aircraft that Just Flight went out with their cameras and sound equipment, recording equipment, and they recorded all the aircraft sounds. So now we get to kind of play around with it. Isn't that pretty cool? So, let us delve into the cockpit, and would you look at the state? There's buttons here now, lads, on a scale of buttons that if you press one thing, something else will turn off. Now, a couple of the early characteristics. You might be looking at the control device thing, right? And you'd say, Jesus, that's very strange looking to have it as a yoke or a joystick. Shouldn't it be a yoke? Well, the handling characteristics of this aircraft, they're very, very close to a fighter. That Delta wing, this thing is super maneuverable. Super. Always did that famous wing over takeoff. Incredible stuff. You'll see it anyway when she gets up there. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's have a look around here. So when it comes to cockpit familiarization, well, we'll start today. I should be finished by next Wednesday. Anyway, on the overhead, nothing. I'd like to see that. Don't need to worry about much up here, except, of course, if you want to get out. Canopy opens and there's switches for that. There's sun visors. There's all the usual stuff that you'd see. Now, there are some quality of life additions made to this aircraft to help us out as flight simulators. For example, there are stations in the real bird just behind the ejection seats for your AEO and also your navigator. For handlingness sake, they've been implemented inside an EFB, or if you don't want to use an EFB, well, there are some click spots hidden away here. See the 2 kind of screws? Yeah. You press on this and it'll bring you to that panel. If you want out of that panel, behind my noggin there, you have another click spot. Click on that and you can cycle them. So they've thought ahead. Not everyone likes to have an EFB, so, well, you don't need one if you want to cycle the views and get this aircraft in and out of action. That's a nice touch. So as we're looking around, how do we get ourselves familiar with this thing? Well, we'll try and start. Down here by our left-hand side, we have an armrest. It's very nice. That there is the Mark 17B armrest, designed, of course, in 1912 by the Irish. It was fit. No, it wasn't. I just thought I'd show it off because it looks very, very nice. But a couple of things we need to make a note of back here. Number one, we have the engine starting system, right? And there are 2 modes to starting up the aircraft engines, and the Vulcan was famous for it. It can have a single engine startup, so engines 1 to 4, start them up, introduce the fuel, and they all take over, like what you would with most conventional 4-engined aircraft. However, it also has what's called rapid mode. It's only rapid. Clicking the wrong spot sends you to Narnia, Murph. Brilliant. It has rapid mode, meaning if you put it into rapid mode, all 4 engines will come alive together to get it into the air fairly rapidly, right? Then we have a couple of radio controls down here. Moving across them, we have different... there's something awesome about this airplane in the real world. They're the Bombay doors, we can open and close them. But it has what's called the feel lock. Feel lock. Basically, the aircraft would simulate resistance in the flight controls, known as the feel, right? And you can increase them or decrease them. There was even an emergency override if the system kind of did something terribly not behavable. So it was known as a feel lock or a feel system. Mad, isn't it? Moving on, see all these fellas here, look? These are all your lighting controls, and the lights move, look. We can turn all these on. Once I get the battery power on, I'll turn on all the lights. It's absolutely stunning. Stunning. All the lighting controls we have. Now, we kind of have a conventional-ish, kind of, 6-pack. We have a Mach indicator, we have our altitude, we have vertical speed, we have 2 horizontal indicators, altimeter, airspeed, and a compass, VOR navigation, ADF, whatever it's going to be. Moving across then, we have these jettison packs here. That's mainly for your tail para, your parachute, to help slow you down. You can get rid of the gadget if you need it. You can also see your trim servos. You can see engine instruments here from RPM, oil pressure, temperatures, the devil knows what. Moving further down, we can see we have hydraulics located here. We have the gear or undercarriage indicator. We have the nose heavy or tail heavy fuel indicator. These all work as well. Then we have our fuel quantity indicators just beneath them. Moving further down, we have our engine control system. These are our 4 engine throttles, and there's a click spot on each of these that'll put them into the live mode or engage mode, and then you click the little click spot and it puts them into the off position. Okay, you don't horse them all up together, you click them individually. There's the 4 engines on with fuel, and then there's the 4 engines off. So it's a click spot. You'll find it. Next up, we have a number of other buttons and kind of overrides, if you like. You have a jet or JPT limiter. On this side, you have your speed brake reset, if you want to call it that. Basically, I think it resets the servos in the air brake. We'll continue onto the center panel here now in a moment. Over on the right hand side, something similar, but then as we move to the far right hand side, well, this is where we have our aircraft surface heating, your anti-ice, all that sort of jazz, but you also have your external lights, and you also have your cabin heat, pressure and bleed air system, essentially your engine air system, right? They all live over here. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you before I click something that I'm going to regret, you're saying, well, where's the center console? Check this out, it's here. Right, I mean, if you're not immediately, oh, would you look at the state of that? And just to kind of put things into perspective, every single sound, click, switch, swipe, drag, pull, rough, whatever, it was recorded from the actual airplane. That is the sound of that console moving on its own axis from the front to the back position. The actual one. It's mad, right? Absolutely mad. So, we need this devil here. What else do we have? Ejection seats. So you can see that the main seats are actually a raised platform. You can arm and disarm them. You can't launch yourself out. You can see here, see the firing handle? You can remove that and it gets stowed into the position for both seats. All right. And then the last thing we're going to have a look at here is, of course, the EFB. They have customized this. This is their brand new EFB just for the Vulcan. Now, it has the usual stuff you might... How do we get back to the menu on this? There's a way I can get back to the menu. Ah, here. So this is the usual stuff. Your flight plan, the map, charts, notes. The notes are really handy. You know, you can, like, do this. I should have put something there a bit more creative, like, you know, make fun of Gibbo. But anyway, your top of descent calculator. And then you have your settings for your brightness, time, your sim brief, Navigraph, all that jazz, right? So the aircraft is the one we're after, and the first screen we're looking at, well, there's a couple of things we can see. We have some options up here: state saving, GPS navigation if you want it, have the pilots appear inside, realistic steer, auto parachute, and you can adjust the trim sensitivity. Very nice. Moving across, you can change the configuration of the aircraft. Do you want her to be the K2 tanker? Do you want the 201 engines, a nose probe, the TF4 dome, ECM, the aerials? And they're just all click of a button, and you'll see the stuff starting to appear on the outside of the airplane. It's an instant click, right? Next up then we have our fuel, and we can see all the presets that we can add them in. Look at the sheer amount of friggin' fuel, right? All the fuel. Then we also have, over here, we have our comms channel. TACAN, transponder, ADF, they're all there, all right? So on the main menu here, this is where we can load munitions in. We can put in saddle tanks, cylinder tanks, weapons, all that sort of jazz, all right? And we have then our unload button. It'll unload everything. We can appear the ground power and also the air starter, our chocks, covers, bomb doors, crew doors, and the K2 hose. Just click on them, they'll appear. And then you have your state startup, ready for start, ready for takeoff, and cold and dark. Click of a switch, boom, it's done. Last but not least, you have the camera options. And in here, you can see, yes, we are the first pilot position. If you want to go to the second pilot position, well, click on it, and it puts you into that position. These are using Microsoft Flight Sim's smart camera system. Effectively, the drone camera using the smart system, yeah? So if we want to go to the AEO station, for example, here's the AEO station. If you don't want to use the tablet, because you might feel it breaks immersion a little bit, as I said, there are 2 hidden click spots up here on the main glare shield. Click on one of them, and it'll bring you to your desired panel. So, we're going to try and start it, right? Battery on. And don't mind me for the moment. I'm just going to start pressing buttons and we'll see what happens. So if memory serves me, I need these on. Yeah. I need these lads on. And I need to trip it and reset it. What did I forget now?
Time to pull the big switch, good buddy.
Smoggy, you're very welcome in. Thank you for the raid, dude. Good to see you. Oh yeah, these. Alternators, right? Now the battery switch is on. That's on. Reset. Okay, so red light is flashing. We have our thing. Now, what else do we want to do? In terms of sounds, we can put in the GPU, right? So we go ground power and also this Halou stay thingy. So the ground power, when you click it, you hear it. Right? That's now running. We're going to remove the covers, the crew doors, the chocks, and close the bomb bay doors. I can do that over here. That sounds right. Want to close the doors? Doors are now. I haven't fully closed. I don't probably have hydraulic power in yet. Okay. The electrics are on. How smooth is the FPS? Extremely. Extremely. Captain Gaming Hawk! No, Captain Hawk Gaming! Welcome in, dude. Good to see you. Right, as I said, I'm going to focus in a future video on following the exact procedure with this aircraft, because it's one thing knowing, yeah, I can turn it on and turn it off. That's grand. That'll get you in and out of action, right? But to really appreciate the simulation of what Just Flight have actually done with this aircraft, when you go through the startup procedure, including testing everything, be it the oxygen, hydraulics, battery levels, DC power, all of that stuff, you'll see the simulation really come to life. We're not going to do that tonight. This is purely get the thing into action. What does it sound like? And that'll kind of do us. It's an introduction. It's to get the, you know what I mean? The flavours going, right? So, right, we continue on. I'll keep the sounds up nice and high. And I suppose I'll stop talking. Will that help? Right, if memory serves me, which it doesn't, these lads need to go up. Lights need to come on. They're already on. They're my external lights. Put them on Morse. Landing lights, put them all on for the crack. And else over here, master switch on for tank pressuring, that's okay. We're going to get some lights turned on in here. I want to show you the lights, lads. That's not a light. Here's some lights here, look. And these are they're so customizable, right? Right, they're looking good. Let's go over to this side of the house and turn on some lights. Aren't the sounds class? The sounds. Now, if I kind of... Let me see now. How are we looking? We're looking good. In terms of lighting. So let's just dim down the lighting, shall we? Need I say any more, friends? Would you look at the absolute state of it? Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't it beautiful? It looks real, right? It looks friggin' real, lads. It's stunning. Is that not the best light? It's very Christmassy. Is it not the best lighting you've seen so far? Right? Beautiful. Right, bring us back to kind of this time as we continue on to see can we start her up, right? Well, we're going to do what's called a rapid start, just for the crack. Right, so center console, on me fuel switches. Well, let's have a look. Here's the hydraulics. That's the bomb bays will close here now in a sec. We need them. Need them. And we need them. So if I now
Dreamy,
go to...
sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Thank you, Muttley. That was terrible. I've refunded all the points used the past week as a penalty for Murph disabling the alerts temporarily. Oh yeah, sorry lads, the alerts are turned off. I should have started with that. Such an idiot. This is my bad. So let's see, can we close these? Bomb release, safety lock. No. We'll probably wait until we have more power on. How's that? Hide selector, we want that on. What else do we want here? Let's see here now. Transfer tank, no, leave them be. Right, we're looking good here. The air switches are on over the far side. That's me fuel, I'll worry about that now in a moment. Okay, let's see, can we start her up, shall we? Right, they're on. And we want what's called rapid start, yeah? Now it's the sounds, I hope this works. On, rapid, and start. Oh yes. Right, now hang on. We're not finished yet, lads. Outside, are we ready? Now remember, you might be saying, where's the Howl? The Howl is not modelled with the 301 Olympus engine. Just to be clear with that, right? Jeez, my old ground power, it's going to be melted mush. However, Just Flight will include the 201 engine variant that will give you that iconic howl. They're not 100% happy with the sounds implemented just yet. They reckon they'll have it finished maybe tomorrow or the next day. It will be ready for release next week. But it's just incredible. Have a look. Yeah, Bill, you absolutely nailed it. Have a look at this. When I throttle up from inside now, have a listen to the inside, right? Mind your ears now. Right? Why do I keep turning off the camera? Because you don't want to see my face go like this. Right? Do you know? Fort Noob, it's good to see you. Isn't this absolutely savage? Right? I wonder whether this will handle the Mac Loop. It will. It absolutely will. So let's see, can we shut them down? Let's listen for sounds again, right? Ah, lads, though, come on, right? They're very, very good, isn't it? We'll do one more. We'll do one more startup, right? And then we're moving on. But like, this is just too good to be freaking true, isn't it? We probably need this gadget again. Yes. Give that a moment to connect. Yeah, we should be good. I hope. Did I break it? Into this switch here. There we go. Okay, we'll do another startup now. We ready? Let's start it up one more time. Will we go individual engines now? Why not? Normal mode, ignition, starter, engine 1. Push release and then start engine. Start. Let's go with number 1. What are we forgetting here? Hang on. Shouldn't I have a red light on for that? Okay, let's go back to rapid. Look at that, it's just so nice. There's another switch. Is there? Oh, there is. Engine 4. So good. The poor ground power unit. Jesus, the sounds, lads. Unbelievable. Hang on, Betsy. Fear not. It could be just me. Anyway, it's the sounds you want to hear. Oh, so good. Will it come with the hair that's opposite to it? Could you imagine? Fantastic. So just so you know, there's a small delay. I didn't know that. There's a delay with the ground power unit. It has to disconnect, then it removes itself. So it does work. It does work. There's no issue with that. So that's as far as I'm going to take this machine today, lads. Because in fear as coming across as some sort of a muppet that breaks it, you know.
Hello there.
What do you think of this? Like, what do you think of this? Right? Now, the manual, I don't think it's fully finished, but I'll bring it over here just to show you. Look. The manual, right? In over 150 pages, just to give you an idea of how much kind of depth you can go into this aircraft and all the different variants and how she looks and the different liveries look, right? But when it comes into Just Flight teaching us how to use the aircraft correctly, it's all there, lads. Everything is there. It explains what it does, why it does it, and how do you make it work. Everything is there. Isn't it brilliant? And as I said, they include a full flight tutorial that'll be enough to give you everything you need to know about flying the aircraft. Right? Remember I was telling you these artificial feel units? As the flying control system is irreversible, aerodynamic loads are not transmitted to the pilot control. To compensate for this lack of feel, artificial feel units are provided in the elevator, aileron and rudder control systems. Elevator and rudder feel can be reduced to a minimum by use of the feel relief switches, which also allow a full range of control movement. What? All of that? They've included all of this. It's friggin' nuts, right? All the different controls and the indicators are there. Look at this. Look, the air brakes. Mine have deployed. I can't get them to go back in. Not sure why that is. There's probably some hydraulic release I haven't done yet, right? The chute on the back. Right? You can jettison it. You can see the fuel system. Like, they've modeled everything here. It's just incredible. And like, anyone who likes really kind of, you know, biting down into an add-on, getting their teeth into it to see what you can do, it has everything there. You know what I mean? The manual has everything there. Windscreen wipers are there, heated windows, the lighting is absolutely top class. And just the general layout, the feel, the sound, how it looks, it's so impressive. It really, really is so impressive. So this will release, all going to plan, next Tuesday. You'll pick it up from Just Flight. It'll eventually come to the marketplace, and yes, it will be coming to the Xbox, minus the weapon systems, as you could have imagined. But just flipping through the manual here, we're not even halfway there yet. So it gives you a good idea of studying. At the same time, don't let this scare the bejesus out of you, because I, the greatest Muppet of them all, well, I can get this thing started and into the air and fly it without worrying too much about consequences. Plus, they have the 3 state loads, cold and dark, ready for startup and ready for takeoff. So it will hold your hand. It absolutely will hold your hand. So I'll fire down here a lot quicker. The retractable console, look. There's the fueling probe. We'll go through all of these, but like, look at that, right? Take it for a spin. We won't judge much. No, but Just Flight, you'll be like, Murph, that's the last time we're giving you something, right? You have to be very careful. Because ultimately, when I break something, right? Because I will break something, it'll be a case of, Murph, that's not how you do it. Did you not read the manual? And I'd be like, me? Not read them? What's the manual? Look at the weapons, look. Hey, Cockspur's here. Seb, welcome in. Good to see you, man. Eagle Airways, good to see you. Zybok Doc is here. Welcome in, man. Welcome in. They're all the munitions you can put onto the gadget, including the refueling. That's pretty cool, isn't it? It's very good, isn't it? Look at all this sort of stuff. Danger. Hot. My Skoda has that sign all over it. Yes, it does. Here's the flying the Vulcan, so your introductory flight. And in fairness to them, they've done it exactly within the realm of Microsoft Flight Simulator. They're going to tell you what to do, how to get it into action, what are you looking for, how do you fly it, what are the characteristics for takeoff, for climbing, cruising, descending, and landing. They go through the entire thing. And it'll take you about an hour. But once you do it once and you keep doing it, you're good as gold. You're going to know enough of how to fly this aircraft. And it includes an autopilot as well. And they mentioned the airshow stuff. Look at this. How cool is that? The 1992 final RAF display. This is what the Vulcan did for that display. How cool is that? You can now completely reenact this yourself or with your friends and do everything that the last Vulcan flight belonged to the RAF did. Now, there was another Vulcan. It was the Vulcan, I forget the name of the club, but they kept it flying up until 2015, I believe, after the RAF retired them. Just top-class effort, Just Flight. Is absolute bunch of legends. And it's going to be released next Tuesday, going to plan, and it's at a very good price. What do you think, lads? Can we just say it's brilliant? Can we just say it's very good? Yes, it's very good. But yes, I need to learn it before I take it up there and go flying in it, because, well, you know what I'm like, do you know what I mean? But yes, so what we're going to do next, me good old palo, buddy old palo, Gibbo. Gibbo is going to be joining us here now because, friends, tomorrow the United States celebrate that of Thanksgiving Day, and then on Friday, Black Friday sales, mad sales, all around, up and down the internet and your local convenience stores. Well, we've kind of worked on a bit of a list to find out where the deals are at. What can you get? What sort of money can you save yourself? And then later, we're going to be checking out your shopping list. And your shopping list are just a couple of add-ons that I like and what Gibbo like that if you don't have, well, we'll talk to you a little bit about them and say, hey, these things are very, very good. All right? So, with that, I now need to press some buttons. And I haven't done one of these in a while. So, Gibbo, prepare yourself. Just let me know in the gadget when you're ready and I'll start a call. Look at the state of it, though. Isn't it absolutely gorgeous? Beautiful. Right, turn off the power there now. Go back to sleep there now, Vulcan, me old buddy, old pal. And brilliant. Go back down here now. Cold and dark. Cold and... Oh, Gibbo's ringing me. Hello?
Murph! What's going on?
Sure, Jesus, it's Gibbo Ireland. Hang on. Do me buttons work, Gibbo? Hang on, I need to press some buttons here now, right? Just bear with me now. Would you look at that, Gibbo? It worked, and I didn't even have to think about it.
Good man yourself. How are you? Hey, Chad, how's it going?
You're looking mighty. You're very, it's very dim or dark or something, is it?
It's a new look, Murph, you know what I'm saying?
Are you wearing...
no, it's good to see you, man.
Are you wearing a Santa jumper?
Murph, it is Christmas. Hang on now. Do you like it?
Jeez.
Look.
It's a Liverpool Santa jersey.
I hope you like it, because I got you one for Christmas.
No!
How are you? You're looking, like you always look, I suppose.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Skip. Yeah. Well, I like to say to myself, I look fine and dandy, you know, as I tend to look fine and dandy. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah, it's good to be back, man. It's just something about a Wednesday night, Murph and Gibbo, isn't there? It's like a glove.
It's like, isn't it? It is like a glove, right? And let you talk away there as I fix the camera. Look.
Oh yeah. You have me cropped. It's all your fault, Murph. As usual,
right?
You know what I mean?
I had one job to do, right?
My mallet's not that big yet. There you go. Look at that.
Well, it kind of is, but we won't say anything, right?
Oh yeah, okay. So what are we doing again?
I thought you were in charge of this one. So basically, right? I know you've been kind of checking out not all. You've found some absolute brilliant Black Friday deals, right? And we're going to be checking out a few of them because you've prepared some stuff. You're very good for preparing stuff.
As I sweat buckets. Yeah, no, true. It's true. So we've been scouring the internet. You've been really focusing on sim stuff, so I'll heavily lean on and maybe add a couple things within the sim in terms of aircraft, scenery, and add-ons. And then wider afield, what does some software deals look like that might interest you? Hardware deals that might interest you, particularly when it comes to Christmas lists to treat yourself, or maybe send a link to a loved one to get for you, and even tech, some tech stuff as well. So I think that there's a lot to cover tonight.
There is, right? And the good thing about all of this, it's very much just kind of a relaxed kind of a. Did you see one of these? Do you know? Because there's tons of stuff there for us. You know what I mean? So now let me see.
100%.
How we looking
In
down?
fact, we could summarize it very quickly in that there's deals everywhere. Just go to your favorite manufacturer, see what they've got to offer, and Bob's your uncle. So there's just it's impossible to cover everything and even find what your best ones are. It's but we've picked a couple, so hopefully it'll be something that interests you all.
Nice. Me chat's gone mad. E-Wall just jumped in there. Divert jumped in here as well. And Chase, someone else. Kurt Deasy all leapt in there as well. Lads, thank you also very, very much indeed for all the support. Gibbo, look what happens when you come on the stream. Everyone's like, hi, there's Gibbo, throw him a fiver.
Numbers plummet. Yeah.
Jesus, we've only 3 people. What? It's grand though, right? Right.
Yeah.
So you sent me over a spreadsheet, right?
I did.
And
Oh,
there's-
you're going there straight away. Oh,
Well,
dear.
there's a ton of stuff on it because when we were chatting about it, we were saying, okay, can we
Yeah.
find where these deals are at? Because, okay, you're going to find them in the usual places. We're going to be watching the news outlets. We're going to be watching Twitter or X or whatever they're calling it these days. So, well, you have a comprehensive list, right? So you start shouting to me.
Yeah.
And I'll pop up the oak on the screen so we can go looking through it.
Yeah,
I
sure.
suppose.
Do you want to talk sim stuff first, Murph, and then we'll talk maybe Christmas lists? Does that work?
100%. Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's jump into it then. We'll talk about maybe 3 quick picks to do with aircraft, and then you can give me your couple as well that you have that you would maybe like to call out. So the first one for me is a bit of background here, folks, is that I love the Horizon 787-900, right? The Dreamliner. It's free. I know that it's free, and that's a good thing, right? It's free. It is a phenomenal aircraft. I'm having so much fun out of it, and really everything that I'm going to call out to everybody tonight is something that I can testify to, or that I've experienced of, or that I can give you my personal viewpoint on. I've got no strings attached to anything. I'm not sponsored by anybody, etc. So it's purely just from one person to another in terms of a good recommendation. The Dreamliner is fantastic because it really builds upon the Boeing platform that you might have experienced in the 737, but with the newness and the challenge and the freshness and the heaviness and all the extras that come with the Dreamliner itself. Now, we're talking about some deals, and one of the deals I want to call out is to do with the sim itself. So you do need to have the base 737 in order to get the Horizon add-on, which is free. And the sim itself, until November 28th, you can get for 40% off if you're on Steam.
What?
And up to November 30th, is it? You can get a 40% off for Windows and Xbox Series S and X on the Microsoft Store as well. So 40% off is, just to give you an idea, so if I give you the exact prices, so for the Premium Deluxe, €72 is what it costs now, compared to over €120 as it was in the past. So if you consider what you get with that as well, so it's not just the Dreamliner, it's the Baron, additional airports, landing challenges, missions. It's kind of worth it to upgrade, even with 2024 coming around the corner, because Microsoft has precedent over giving folks that have got the premium version some discounts in the future as well. So I just wanted to call that out there if you are still in the standard version or maybe on the Game Pass version and interested in some of the more premium versions of the sim.
I spent
So that's my first one, Murph.
I spent 130 quid in the sim back in the day. So did you.
Yeah, I did, yeah. Just for the Baron too, yeah.
I wanted all
And then
these-
you go and tell us to uninstall all the rest of the stuff. Yeah, I'll install that landing challenge. Yeah, I don't need that.
You
So,
don't need it. You don't need it.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. So if you are really wanting the premium aircraft, well, the advantage now is that the sim is heavily discounted up to 40%, which is awesome. So it's now is the time, because this aircraft, the 7.8, it's stunning. It actually just got a quick update there today as well, but it's brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant, and it's so much nicer than the Dash 10 variant. I don't know what it is. Is it that's I don't know. It's a little bit shorter or something. I don't know, but it's beautiful.
Yeah. It's just the newness of, being able to build on the 7.3 what you might be familiar with. If not, then it's an even greater challenge. But having to factor in different things like, how do you integrate SimBrief and how do you get your performance calculations and all that sort of stuff, which is new and gives a bit of a challenge. So it's free if you have, the 7.3 already in the sim.
Nice.
What about you, Murph? Have you got anything? I know there's one or two that you're dying to call out or your top picks. Have you found any good deals in aircraft?
So when it comes to airliners, right, and when it comes to, I suppose, any aircraft that you're going to get from a Black Friday sale, well, there's a ton of Black Friday deals, right? Bills, for example, they have their Black Friday deals. So much so that they're up in and around, I think it's like 50% off that Innie are doing, right? And you might be saying, okay, well, what aircraft are we going to grab from, Bills? Well, they have, most notably, they're smaller aircraft, but there's some really good ones in there, right? But also Just Flight. Last year, I haven't seen their announcement this year, but I imagine Just Flight had a huge, let's check out their website now, actually, while we're here, right? If I can spell Just Flight, right? I don't see anything here in terms of a Black Friday deal. However, in saying that, right, they did do something last year. So let's wait and see and watch this space, because they had huge discounts last year on all their aircraft, right? Now, failing all of that, when it comes to the airliners, of course, you're going to be looking at PMDG. And again, there's stuff there in the marketplace. And, well, Microsoft bring out some stuff as well. Let's have a quick look at PMDG. So the 789 is there. Doesn't say anything about Black Friday deals just yet. Let's have a quick look here. Let's have a look. Right, buttons. So on sale, the DC-6, for example, on sale, $59.99 US, right? And the 737-700 on sale for $69.99. Now, these are heavy, pricey aircraft. And we did a video before, Gibba, you were 100% hitting the nail on the head. Out of all the 737 variants, well, the 600 is the best bang for buck, because it's the best. It gives you pretty much
$35.
$35. And it gives you the same functionalities as the other ones. The 737-800, the most popular one, that's $69.99 down from $74. The DC-6 is one of my absolute favorite airplanes ever, and it's currently on sale now, so you can save yourself a tenner there. You know what I mean? But if you want the modern airliner stuff, or modern-ish, definitely the 600 for 35 quid. Can't go wrong. Like, you just can't go wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Like, it is worth calling out as well. So two other aircraft that I don't have deals at the moment, but I do expect something, or if not, it's still worth strongly considering. The first, of course, is the FSR 500, and I don't need to discuss that anymore. You have covered it so well. But for me, to just give you my 2 cents, what I love about it, which is something that, because you just jumped straight into the advanced stuff to learn it fully, but what I love about it is that stepping ability from being able to start it at a basic level in order to get it up in the air and fly, but also being able to introduce increased levels of complexity in order to provide you that continual challenge. Because if you don't have that, if it's something like a Seneca or something that you can just immediately jump in, fly, and that's really the full limit as to what it offers, you don't really tend to come back to it too much, because it doesn't offer you anything new to get to grips with, where the FSR 500 has just got layers and layers to build on that you can enable or disable as you wish, in order to increase the newness and that feeling of being able to continually grow with it and learn more and more about it. So that's my perspective on it, and why I absolutely would recommend it. It's so new, of course, it's unfair to expect any discount at this point, but that's definitely one of my recommendations and worth every penny.
It's probably the most feature-rich add-on for general aviation that we've seen, so far as it has the real-world capabilities. It has the failure systems already built in, plus it gives you that entire kind of, pilot experience. You got to look after your passengers. It's all baked into the one product. It looks great, it flies great, it sounds great, and it has a Firefly Air livery to boot. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I love that one, man. And I suppose, where the sales are at, if we're looking in particular at a sale for flight sim add-ons, Sim Market. Now, this can be hot or cold, right? Sometimes you'll find some really good aircraft on this. Other times it's like, however, they do have a massive sale on at the moment, right? And some notable ones here. We showcased this off the other day. Now, I'll blast through this, but it has the Philippines Tropical Adventure. That's a brand new release by Clifford Designs, and that's discounted by 10%. You can pick it up for just €11, which is pretty cool, right? That
was good, yeah.
Really, really good. But when it comes to the aircraft, let's go in and jump in here and have a quick look at some of the aircraft, right? So the Vertical or Virtual Call, there's a number of aircraft, mainly the Embraer. Now, you can't really compare these to what Flight Sim Studios are doing. They're not designed to be the same level of depth. However, if you're more of a casual flyer and you want one of these regional jetliners, right? Well, they're 40% off. You can pick this thing up for €7.74. That's a huge saving. So if you're often thinking, I just want to have a 190 or 195 or 170 or 175 to go, running around the shop in, well, that's the one. now is the time to have a look at it because, well, it's part of their Black Friday sales, which is pretty cool, right? Another one, where was the other one now? Not A2A, that's still the same price. I haven't seen the other one for A2A, but the Cowan Sim stuff are fairly cheap as well. Any of the helicopters, if you guys are into the choppers, they're all there. And also, sorry, I'm not finding it. The Boeing Clipper, right? So, pilots, these recently released the Dash 7, and there's mixed reviews on that still at the moment, right? However, the Boeing Clipper has gotten a number of updates in recent times, and it's just an iconic airplane. I'm in love with the Boeing Clipper only because, well, sure, there's a remake mock-up of it just down the road. But this is on sale as well. You can pick it up now for $24.54. Which is a fairly decent discount. It's 30% off. And again, that's over on Sim Market. So that's a recommended aircraft, definitely for me. And it's in the sales as well. So yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, it really has been the case, though, no matter what. Although with one or two exceptions, PMDG and elsewhere, across the board, there's been discounts galore. Really, if you're interested in a particular thing, it's well worth looking up to see if there's something on offer. We're just scratching the surface as to what's out there at the moment.
Absolutely. And then here's another entry point for you if you like. So the Latin VF4 stuff, the Airbus stuff that they have.
I do. Yeah,
and you can get the mods for it. It's the Horizon mods for these. That they transform them rather. Well, these are on sale as well. Soundcrack again, there's 40% off the A321, for example. And then you go ahead and you mod it with the freeware Horizon mod. You have a very, very capable aircraft. And it's pretty cool. It's awesome.
All right.
Very
good. Let's move on to scenery. So you've covered Philippines at the moment. If I could stick with that, unless you've got any other aircraft that you wanted to call out, we'll keep it going.
No, stay going.
Yeah. So I have to say, right, again, this is going to be biased, right? But it's not. Like, me, I'm like a broken record, and I apologize. But it's what's new, what's different, what's fresh, what's interesting from all the countless other sceneries out there. And there is no better man than Jeppesen 2001. And I was like, okay, well, which can I recommend? Can I recommend Niagara, which is outstanding? Or what about Victoria Falls? It's like picking your favorite child, right? And so they're both my picks. They are both just incredible offerings. If you do not have them at the moment, you absolutely must pick them up. You will not regret it. The list, it goes on and on. If I even just picked one of the sceneries in terms of what it has to offer from animated sounds, animations, sounds, mist, lighting effects. There's countless hotels, casinos, rapids, model docks, helipads. The list goes on. They are absolutely top tier sceneries that you cannot go wrong with. And the good news is, I was talking to Jeppesen. He let me know that there is a discount on all his sceneries as a Black Friday offer of 50%, which started yesterday on flightsim.to and will be available via any bills from this Friday. So if you haven't picked up those two phenomenal sceneries, now is absolutely the time. You will not regret it, trust me. And they offer something unique and something different.
He effectively, for Victoria Falls, built a waterfall where there wasn't a waterfall. Right? And that's what it kind of boils down to. And absolutely stunning sceneries. Not to mention the freeware stuff, but the payware stuff that Jeppesen has brought us, absolutely class.
Yeah, I mean, a guy jumping off a bridge. Sounds bad, but bungee jumping. I mean, phenomenal. Where would you get it?
Where would you get it? Now, speaking of any bills, they also launched an early Black Friday deal, right? And there's more coming, but they have a lot of stuff there at the moment. FS Realistic Pro, right? Not everyone uses it all the time, but then other people can't fly without it. That's on sale at the moment. It's half price. So if you're considering getting it, well, you can pick it up now for £12.68, reduced from about $25. FS Realistic, what it does, it adds in kind of, head shake, camera shakes, new sounds, for any aircraft. It'll work on any airplane. And there's online profiles in the cloud. You can kind of download, I'll use this pack for this aircraft. And they can be very, very immersive. It's actually quite good. So that was another notable one to say. Bjani, that's available at half price, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Similarly, GSX Pro has been reduced as well from FS Dream Team. 40% off from today until November 30th. And that was priced at around 37 euros. So big discount there, 40%. But Murph, talking about add-ons, I have to jump into one I need to call out. So again, similarly, there's a discount to this. There's a, what is it? It's a 25% discount. And I'm talking about Spad.next, right? Which a lot of you might know, and a lot of you might go, I don't really need that. Oh, if you've got any sort of hardware, trust me, you need it. It is without doubt my favorite now add-on, and part of it is due to the reason that I have in front of me Logitech panels, which you kind of really need to get the most out of it and get things working. But hear me out for just 1 minute as to why this is phenomenal, right? So basically what it does to dumb it down for my benefit is it takes over the in-sim controls for your hardware. Right, so the reason it does that is because the sim can only go so far, and what Spad.next has the ability to access FSUI PC commands, LVAR commands, Sim Connect commands, local variables, all that sort of stuff. It can get to, so that you're able to bind your controls to do whatever you like. So that sounds good, Gibbo, but it's not really enough for me to look into it. Well, first of all, hear me out. First of all, the amount of things you can do, the in-sim interface is a bit clunky, a bit lax in, being intuitive and so forth. And what you can do with this then, and by the way, just a quick tangent, it's not just the sim. It works with X-Plane, it works with iRacing, it works with FSX, it works with Euro Truck Sim. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can totally customize what way it works, totally to meet your needs. It comes with lots of community provided profiles. So if you want to fly an A2A, or you want to fly a PMDG or an Airsoft, they're all there ready to go. You don't have to do anything really at all. But you can also then create your own as well. So to give you an example as to some of the configurations you can do, you can set preconditions, or you can set, by the way, what that means is if one button is one way, then it has a consequence of another. So for example, your gear is up, well then, your park and brake turns on or off, so you can have it all kind of linked. Or if the master battery switch comes on, well, then you don't want the avionics to come on, because that's not the way it works in the real aircraft. That's a separate switch, and you can, do all that sort of stuff as far as configure it as well. So in summary, I could go on and on. You can, in summary, you can set a profile per aircraft down to even per livery. You can assign it to multiple. If you've got one profile that works for everything, you can assign it and away you go. You don't have to think about it again. Or you can even have it prompt you when you load in to say, oh yeah, I meant to actually change profile, and you can have things going there too. So it is truly my favorite piece of software now as an add-on for the sim. There's a 14-day free trial. So if you're just looking to dip your toe in, see what it's about, see if it's for you, then you can absolutely do that for no charge. And then, as I say, the Black Friday deal is just 18 euros plus VAT to own it for the sim.
There's two other kind of cool things it can do, right? So, say for example, you mentioned truck simming, right? And if you wanted to say, well, I don't want to be changing my controls over all of the time, so a lot of pedals, a lot of rudder pedals, in particular the TPRs, well, they could double up as racing pedals, for example, or in fact, racing pedals could perhaps double up as a rudder pedal. For instance, it allows you to kind of open up your controls to other platforms, which is awesome. But there was something else that I kind of liked. And now I think it's another add-on. You have to pay for it within Spad, right? But it allow you to put panels. I mean, we've all seen like Aero Manager and all this sort of jazz of putting in our own little panels if you wanted to make your own home cockpit setup.
Gauges, you mean? Yeah.
Gauges, sorry, yeah. So, I mean, you can have, if you had a spare monitor or an iPad, it'll do it over your own network, and suddenly you have these FIPs, they're called. They'll appear and they'll interact with the sim in real time. So, for example, they come with a couple of free ones. There's premium ones there as well. But you could, for example, put a full 6-pack digitally sitting on an iPad, and then when you're flying your sim, you can turn off virtual cockpit and you have a new virtual cockpit. You can actually put in some certain gauges and panels or whatever into the aircraft. It's pretty cool. Now, it's not, you know what I mean? Air Manager, I think, is probably up there in terms of how good it can look, but you still have the option with Spad, which is a nice touch.
Yeah, like, think about it. You can configure, you've got a button in front of you, you can configure it to do the same button to do things differently. You can have it do something on a short press and do something on a long press and do something on a double press, or when I let go of one button, something else then should happen. Or if this button is pressed, then the other button does something differently. So is totally a different level of configuration. It's not the most easiest of software to use to fully master because it's just so in depth, but it's well worth spending the time to get to know it because it does really open up the hardware that you already have to do some very cool things.
Absolutely. Now, as we're talking about hardware, well, sure, we have to go over here because Thrustmaster, these guys have a Black Friday sale, and for any amount of hardware, but you know, flight simming stuff in particular, there's one in particular that you have to have a look at. Now, people who own this equipment, they know the crack, they know how good it is, but the TCA Yoke Pack, the Boeing edition for Microsoft Flight Sim, or any flight sim for that matter, at the moment, it is heavily discounted, right? You can get the yoke and throttle, depending on, you know, your location in the world and what the sale price is. I think it's like 349 quid, 329 pounds now, right? That's a reduction of £100 just on the Thrustmaster stuff. That's absolutely friggin' nuts. And considering you're getting both the yoke and the throttle quadrant, that's huge.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. They've got some great deals. By the way, did you see what they're doing on like racing wheels?
Did you see this direct drive thingy?
It's gonna cost us some money, isn't it?
Right, I saw this direct.
It's the Ferrari one. I want the Ferrari one.
Right. Now they also do the Airbus pack as well. That's reduced by $50 as well if you want to have a look at that. So you see the flight pack, you can get that for 149. The Thrustmaster FCS flight pack, that's a great introductory setup for £149.99. But yeah, like Thrustmaster have some awesome deals on at the moment, and yeah, dude, that racing stuff. I mean, I was in the same state of, you know, it's like it's after getting reduced, Gibbo. I mean, it's a full direct drive simulator of a Ferrari, and it's like £900. But
it's very nice.
To be fair, it won't make your driving one bit better.
I think 18 seconds, Murph, was the gap between us when we raced over the weekend, wasn't it? Me first, of course.
Dad, who asked you?
You brought it up, mate. Will we keep going about hardware then?
Sure, why not? Let's take it easy. Sure, why not?
I have to tell you, well, which one will I pick? I've got so many. I tell you what, there's not a discount on this, but I have to mention it because it's definitely one for the list if you're interested in this thing. Murph, if you go to the MCP, all right, so this folks, a lot of you might know it's from Mini Cockpit, and it's their new MCP for the A320. I am waiting desperately for this. That's it, Murph.
Did you order it?
I did, yeah. I was so for those that don't know, this was a Kickstarter project that immediately oversubscribed to be able to fund, and this week, if not into next week, pre-orders are shipping for those that originally did buy it, and I was one of them. So there's already some previews coming out across YouTube, I noticed today and yesterday, but yeah, I think it cost me 1,700 Hong Kong.
Jesus, does
funny
the
monies.
know?
What do they have? Dollars, isn't it? I think. Yeah, I think that works out about close to 200 quid or something. I don't know what I was thinking, but no, I missed the very first batch, which was a much better price, but I got in the second batch. Anyway, it'll be worth it, I'm sure. So just to fill you in on this is an 80% MCP, 80% scale MCP, and it's modeled on the 2023 A320 Neo. It's the first of 3 units that are planned when Murph gets a moment, he'll scroll down and you'll see the other 2 that are going to sit either side of this. They're going to be a mini EFIS and a mini ECAM. These knobs and dials are push-pull. They supposedly have great haptic feedback, great sounds. I have yet to get my hands on it, and it'll work for X-Plane and Microsoft Flight Sim. Now, they do work, for, of course, for the fly-by-wire A320.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
A320, but they do work with the Phoenix, but there is a limitation with them at the moment. Bear in mind, they're only just shipping, right? Where they do control the Phoenix, but there's no display on them. Apparently, that's down to a licensing problem in the Phoenix area to do with third-party products connecting to it. Anyway, I'll just continue on. SPAD.next, which I just mentioned a moment ago, is actively on the case, right? And is working on this, and I believe they might have a role to play in helping with that. So more to come there in due course. So if if you've missed the first pre-orders, which sounds like you have, Murph, and this is something you're interested in, because it is sold out, there is a second wave that's opening for these if you wish to purchase on the 15th of December. So just wanted to let you know.
It looks awesome, and I've seen a couple of these
does.
kind of surface already. Chewy had one; he was playing with it the other day, and like when the thing is complete, when you get the Ecamm and the EFIS up there, it's going to. I mean, it's almost becomes furniture. You know, it just looks nice.
Yeah, you use it all the time.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see how good this is going to work.
Yeah, I'll give you an honest review, or I might jump back on and cover it just to tell you if it's worth your hard earned or not. And actually, just hold that thought, because if you're interested in this, you might also want to hold off because, well, they Mini Cockpit here clearly have first mover advantage, but there is others with similar products coming very, very soon, hot on their heels. So, Murph, if you're able to jump over to the second sheet, there's a little, I don't know if you can drag that onto your screen just to show folks. There is a company that some of you may be familiar with here called WinWing Sim, and they're bringing a version of this that's going to be full-sized, and it's around the corner. It's not out yet, but their early bird price for it, which they say will include shipping and taxes for overseas sites, is going to be $99. Right, with the official price thereafter being $130. So that might be one, if you're interested in this sort of thing, that you might want to hold out for. So that's WinWing Sim that are on the case.
I love the way it says, hello, big guys. It's,
Where does it say that? Oh, there. Yeah, right in front of me. Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty cool as well.
Yes, that's full size.
That's a full
scale.
size, yeah. So that's pretty cool as well. Jeez, there's so much cool stuff coming out, isn't there?
It'll eat into your pockets, but it's. I'll give you an honest review when I get it. But so far, the reviews seem pretty good for that mini one.
Now, it's a similar name, but a little bit different, right? Oh no, it's not. It's the same, isn't it? That was WinWing, wasn't it?
That was WinWing, yeah.
All right, watch this now. Wait to see what I'm going to do with this. You ready now?
I am.
Here's a fella who did this, you know. So WinWing Sim. When the website loads, I came across, it's unable to connect. Where is it now? Hang on a second. WinWing, don't spell it wrong.
I looked them up because I personally didn't know much about them. I got to say, I was wondering if it was going to be, you know, a new startup or whatever. But they've been in existence for quite some time, 7+ years, I think, and they've got some good products already out there, as you'll probably cover now.
Yeah, so these guys, most known for their DCS modules, as in they add in all the different components for a lot of the DCS stuff. They're currently running a 30% sale because it's their 10th anniversary, right? So there's 30% off. So anyone who's familiar with the likes of, say, Virpil, well, these will be not at that level, but not far behind them. And you can, you know, there's a couple of bits and bobs you can have a look at here. You know, specifically, they have an F-15 Strike Eagle full metal throttle. Right, and if you're to say, right, okay, well, I want to get one, I want to get either the E or the EX, right? So if you look at the EX and you look at the price, it's 160. Go back, Murph. It's 100 and hang on now. Where's the full throttle? They're just the throttle bodies. Hang on, I need to find the yoke. My cockpit, is that a store? Oh no, store. Hang on a second now. Look at this, right? Sorry, there you go. 431 for a combined set, right? That's a yoke and a joystick and a throttle, so it's a HOTAS system, right? Can you buy the thing on its own? I saw that there somewhere, but what I'm showing here is it's from 10%. There's other discounts here up to 17% and 23%. Like there's some huge savings to be made. There's the throttle there. Is it $290? I think for the combo. Yeah, it's about it ranges between 200 and 300 quid for the whole throttle. So think of this somewhere in the region of your Thrustmaster and Virpil. It's somewhere in between, right? So I've heard great things about them. Now I haven't tried out their equipment before, but I've heard great things about them in terms of, you know, how sensitive they are and what sort of feedback they can pick up. And they do everything similar. They do all like the mounts, they do all that jazz. But then it has this kind of a cockpit kind of a setup page. So you can say, look, okay, well, I want a throttle. Well, you can pick that up for like, you know, 203 quid. And then you can put like a finger lift thingy on it for the Orion. Okay, that's an option. Then you can get the Airbus joystick combo. So that's a full joystick. It's an Airbus style one for €345. And if you have a look at it here, They come with all the extension rods, the base, the extension kits for different springs. Like, that's an Airbus joystick on their own base. If you were to do a comparison and have a look at Virpil, for example, well, Virpil it's going to be it's a little bit dearer, and the fact that there's a good discount on this with 10% off, 345 quid. That's not bad. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
now,
100%.
When it comes to the panels, I imagine SPAD would have to be something in there. I'm sure of it, because like how are you going to get and you want to see some of them. You have a look at this joke here, right? And where's the panels now?
It is very like the Virpil stuff, isn't it? Even that base, that X base is.
It really is
like the one you have.
Yeah. Right. Where's it? The MFDs, and then we'll have a look at the UFC unit as well, right? So this throttle might look very, very familiar. Well, it is, because Thrustmaster have released the same idea, the very same kind of a setup. In fact, it's their brand new Viper, I think it's called, what Thrustmaster are selling it for. Well, this thing, it says here, right? Recommended for bundle purchase, discount applied at checkout. Your final price is $227. $227 or $253, right? If you were to compare that to what Thrustmaster are bringing out, it's I couldn't tell you which is going to be better. But if you have a look at what their new Viper setup is, that's £450, right? Now, it looks lovely. We saw it at Flight Sim Expo, but let that load up there for a second. £450 or €253. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, no-brainer.
Right? So it's worth having a look at them, lads. It's Wing Sim. Definitely worth having a look. I know some of you guys here in the chat, you have them. You've used them. But it looks pretty cool. And then like all these different screens as well. I'm trying to remember who did the screens. I think Thrustmaster did screens years ago. Do the screens actually work? I think they do. Or maybe they don't. Oh, they do. Look, they're USB powered. So there was ones before, I think I can't remember, was a Cytec or one of them. And there was no background, right? It just had the switches on the side worked, and that was it. But I think there's 5-inch display area, more size.
And you put the SPAD gauges on those, I guess, would you?
You could.
Okay.
MFD backlight solution. Yeah, so you can actually throw stuff in there. Now, it pretty much means you're setting up your own home cockpit. I mean, that's what it is. They're popular with DCS. And I've seen 1 or 2 reviews on some of these products, and they're really, really good. Virpil, I think, are just at the highest possible level, because it's just like, Jesus. But these work in Microsoft Flight Sim as well. So there's that new Thrustmaster one, which looks class and deadly and everything, but like it's a massive heap of a thing sitting on your desk, right? I mean, it's huge.
Yeah.
You know,
it's really only for the fighters, though, isn't it? Like, how would you use that for a GA aircraft?
Yeah, like I mean, you can.
Feel a bit weird, wouldn't it?
Well, I mean,
you can, but weird.
Yeah, it's a single throttle. I mean, I'm sure you'll find uses for it. It has like gear extension there. Yeah, it's designed kind of like the way the HOTAS was, the Warthog, right? This is just kind of a continuation of that. But yeah, it's Mr. Dan would use this now in a Cessna 152, he'd love it. But it's great find of that Wing. I've never really kind of delved into that before, so it was pretty cool.
They're definitely getting more and more noticed.
Pretty cool.
So sticking with hardware, Murph, I got to say, right, for us all, there's nothing worse than a hardware purchase that you use, here and there, few and far between, right? You'd want a hardware purchase to be something that you use all the time to justify its purchase, or use for multiple things, not just one sim, one game, one use case. And that's where my next hardware recommendation, which applies to the sim, and hear me out as to why, is the Artix Pro wireless lossless high fidelity gaming audio system, right? This is phenomenal. This has absolutely been one of my best buys ever, not just because of its wireless capabilities, but because and it's been so clear to be able to hear, but it also comes with a charger and an EQ built in, etc. It's fully lossless. And it's just been absolutely the best buy that I use all the time, for all different types of things. If I'm ever on my PC, it is reduced. and it's reduced now to, it's not an insignificant price, don't get me wrong, but it is €230 all in versus where it was priced, which is 370. And I know Murph is dying to get in here now because he's got the even newer version of this, which is even better, but it needed to be for his mallet head. But I'll let you come in a second on that, Murph. The reason why I want to recommend this to do with the Sim is because, well, we focus a lot on FPS with the Sim, don't we? And, striving for those extra couple FPS in the visuals, and rightly so. But we don't really spend too much time thinking about the audio. And did you know that Dolby Atmos and Dolby sound is built into the Sim? And it needs to, for you to get the benefit of it, it needs two things. It needs a small bit of software, and I'll talk about that in a second, and it needs something like these, which support Dolby Atmos. It's not been something that it's easy to showcase because it's audio, and with Twitch and YouTube and so forth, they kind of compress that so you can't get across the benefit of it. But the small little bit of software sits in the Microsoft Store, and it's called Dolby Access. Murph, you have a link if you want to pop that up just to show folks. And similarly to SPAD.net, there's a free trial. So you've got nothing to lose. If you already have a pair of headphones that support Dolby Atmos, then give it a whirl. It's all you need to do. You just need to install this bit of software, enable it for your headphones, launch the Sim, and away you go. And it's not just the Sim, of course. It could be any sort of 3D spatial audio, Dolby Atmos support that I have to offer. But it is incredible. Incredible, I gotta say. We really don't spend enough time talking about Sim sound benefits. And this absolutely gives it. I mean, so much so that in my living room, I've upgraded our sound system to Dolby Atmos, and I'm constantly looking behind me because I'm hearing things. The 3D surround that it gives is much better than the previous surround sound that I had before. I constantly think there's things going on behind me, and it's just the sound coming from opening up Dolby Atmos, which is just absolutely incredible. Much better than the 5.1 surround systems or Dolby Digital even that was there previously. So the Sim supports Dolby Atmos, and it's definitely worth enabling and trying the software out once you've got something that supports it, like these incredible headphones. So I just want to throw that out there because it's something I use all the time, and I don't think it gets enough attention and is well worth looking into.
You see,
how are you finding your headphones, Murph?
Well, here's the thing, right? This is going to start off another... Murph, you should have a 4K setup. No, Gibbo, I don't need it. No, you really should. Because, when you first spoke to me that you got Dolby Access, I was like, yeah, but is it really that good? And you were like, it's unbelievably good. If you were to compare it to what sort of a experience change we're going to get, it is going from high definition to 4K, only with sound, pretty much, right? And I'm on the fence because I'm saying, Jesus, you can imagine that, well... Yeah, I am. I'm an audio file. Isn't that what they call them? An audio file.
Audiophile, yeah. I
love my audio, right? I love audio, and the style of audio. I spent a ridiculous amount of time to make me sound like this. Because I'm all into the whole, move that gadget up that way, and hang on, spin that fella around, right? But when it came to the headphones, so the Arctis Pro wireless, which I still have, but I banjaxed the ear part on it because I won't say it's a design flaw, kind of is, but it's a Murphy mallet head flaw, absolutely that. There is no mistaking. I still have the wired version, the Game DAC, they're down here beside me. They're my backup headphones. The sound that these things have, and now I've upgraded them to the newest release, which is the Arctis. I can't remember what these are called now.
Nova, I think is
the Nova, right? Because the Nova. There it is there. Oh, look, these are on special as well. Gibbo, you need to buy these ones.
Are they the new ones?
Yeah.
No, there they are. Sorry, there's a delay. Oh, yeah, 270. Yeah.
Pounds now, £270. But they're in stock, Gibbo. They're in stock.
Yeah, mine were €230. Now, yeah, I can't tell you if yours are any good or not because I haven't tried them, but mine are €230. Yours are £270. Yeah, okay.
So here's one for you.
But Murph, try it. If you install that software, as I say, there's a 14-day trial. Open up the Sim, open up a couple spatial audio sound video clips, and give it a whirl and see what you think. It is mind-boggling, really.
So definitely going to do that with the Dolby Access, just to give it a shot. But while I need, because I'm going to convince you here, right? these headphones. I have the same experience as you had sitting on your couch looking behind you. I hear things on these headphones that sometimes funny things give out, sometimes dirty things give out, right? No, but like they're very, very good, and they have this active noise cancelling jazz, which is it can be dangerous because someone can sneak up on you. These are an absolute masterpiece because the sound is better, which is hard to believe considering we go from the wireless DAC to these things. The sound is just better, but the batteries on the early Oaks, what would you get? 4 hours, 5 hours tops? These about 18 hours. Like, that's it. And they have a cool feature when you take it out of your head. When you take the battery out, it gives you precisely, and I'm not messing, it gives you precisely 8 seconds to put another battery in, and you don't need to turn them on or off. It just says, new battery.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Really handy.
Oh, wow.
Right? So battery comes out, you have 8 seconds to put a battery back in, and they carry on as normal. And they have, do they? They should have. Jesus. Are these on back to front? Oh, they do. They have a microphone I just don't use.
Yeah.
It's over there, look. Jesus, I look like someone in a Costa. How can I help you today? Right, but they have the... and it's not like the other one that...
Your computer has a virus.
Yeah. Did you try turning it off? It doesn't have the older one try to go up your nose. This one, right, it behaves itself. I'm telling you, like, when you're next down, you need to give these a shot because they are excellent. And the material, they have a leather cup for the AirPod thingies, and you don't get hot in them. But the cotton ones break and tear and they go over. These are just more comfortable in every conceivable way.
Okay.
Deadly. But yeah.
There you go. So, look, as I say at the start, it's great to get a purchase that you use all the time that's really worth it and justifies its price. And this is a great example of it. You'll use these all the time. You
just will. And like, they're not just for flight simming, even though we're saying these enhance your flight simming to no end because, well, it's one, you know, we all know what flight sim is missing in terms of the sense of load bearing, the physical force on our bodies, and, you know, smells and whatever else. Therefore, we become super sensitive to the sounds and the visuals. This sort of stuff, and what you see on the screen here, be it the one I recommend, which is the newer version, they're called the Nova, which are a hefty price. However, the wireless DAC, the Pro Wireless DAC that Gibbo showed us, they're excellent as well. And like you talk about a game changer in terms of audio. Like I know some people are saying Bose and some of the Sony stuff are good. I'm looking at these open-ended audio headphones as well, but they lose the bass. You want to get the bass. That Vulcan starting up earlier on, I mean, right, I needed to lie down. It was amazing, right? Absolutely amazing. But yeah, brilliant. Dolby Access, I need to get it.
Atmos, it's brilliant. It goes with Dolby Vision, which is for the visuals as well. Anyway.
I'm liking that.
Murph, in a similar vein, just very quickly, talk about another tool again, which has got multi-use purposes, not just for the sim, is that which we all know, which is a Stream Deck, right? And again, hang on, Gibbo, what the hell? I'm not a streamer. That's fine, neither am I. But a Stream Deck. If you use a computer, a Stream Deck is for you. And again, there's deals on it. And this is the Stream Deck Plus, which comes with the LCD screen. It comes with the dials and so forth. I think it's about 160 now pounds, where it was over 200. But hear me out very quickly. So if you use a computer, you can have a Stream Deck to do so many things for you, right? So if you're in an application, let's say Word, you know, you can open up applications, of course, but you can get it to do contextual things based on what's going on in that application as well. And you can have it fully customized to help you out and just help your efficiency and your functionality and getting stuff done. So it can give you buttons to be able to that are within the context of the application that you're using, to be able to just do, you know, macros, shortcuts, whatever it is to help you out. So that's if you use a computer. There's so many applications for it to help you out there. The Sim, we've talked about it before. I've done, I think, 2 videos as to how you can use a Stream Deck with the Sim, including not just running applications and making your life that bit easier there too, but even, you know, where you download profiles. And it would give you buttons that you can do things like altitude hold or whatever, but not just simply, shortcuts to things. These buttons can live and breathe where they can be functional in giving you information in the button itself as to what your heading is, or your altitude is, or your speed is, and that profile could be aircraft dependent as well. Many of them are for free. And then thirdly are things like smart homes. So if you have lights like Murph and I do, you can turn on and off your lights, your security. There's that one gone off. So easily that it's become truly invaluable. Now I know Murph's Stream Decks have been like rabbits, right? You've got how many now, Murph? 3 or 4? That's how invaluable they are. Now you're a particular use case, that's for sure. But this is something, again, a purchase that you won't regret. That's for multi-uses. It works so well with the sim. It can help you out. That I just had to include it here, particularly because it's on discount and it's lowest price ever.
So out of all the Stream Decks, right, and I'm glad you found this one, and it is on sale at the moment. Out of all the Stream Decks, the Stream Deck Plus, this is the one you want. Now you might say, Murph, I don't have half the same amount of buttons. I have 2 of the standard Stream Decks. I have an XL and I have this gadget right here. This gadget is brilliant because yes, you have your 8 buttons or whatever, right? But they double up because they can become a long press, or you can just add in a folder button and then you have multiple pages of those same 8 buttons, right? This screen here, which is great because it'll show you kind of whatever you really wanted to show you in terms of audio files. Like for example, on mine, I got Spotify. I can control all my lighting from in here, right? It's on a flicker switch, but you can't really see it because if I press the button, hang on now.
You're going to break things now, aren't you?
I probably will. Elgato, what one is this now? Key light. Is that this one? So you can probably see my camera dimming ever so slightly. I can turn this to one or all of my lighting and have them on a dimmer switch, which is absolutely the cat's meow, right? But also it gives you access to the Elgato Wave, the audio part of the Elgato Wave, meaning you can control all audio, all the audio sources, the sim, Netflix, whatever you want, all by the touch of a dial. And the buttons, the rotary dials or knobs, you can press them, you can twist them, and they've multiple uses. Think about it, your heading indicator, your altitude, vertical speed, all that jazz can work. You can program them all in. And this is the best one to get. It is big, right? It's much, much taller than the other Stream Decks. Width-wise, it's bigger than a standard Stream Deck, but I highly recommend this thing for anyone involved with flight simming. And even if it's not just for flight simming, if you just want that ease of access, as Gibbo said, over your computer, be it volume or if you have lighting or the smart home elements, all of these things. And then you can put a simple button there to say, hey, turn that off or turn that. Like, you can do so much stuff with this. Video editing, that's just another idea. I mean, then you talk to other programs, you can get them working in other games and other features. The Stream Deck it's genius, and you can pick up kind of knockoff ones. Instead of Elgato, it's Elgato or whatever, right? You can pick them up cheap, but you want the quality and the fact that you get this Wave audio access as well. That's Elgato's kind of infrastructure when it comes to sound. It is excellent. It's just brilliant. Yeah,
like I use Word as an example, just to give you a real life use case where I've got a button and it does a spell check on a file. It knows where to save it, and then it exports it as a PDF with one button, right? It's just actions that you layer on one another behind the button, and it's good to go. It saves you. Those seconds that it saves do add up. Murph, I've got a question for you on your one of these, right? So back to the MCP that we showed a moment ago, where it's got the little dials that you can use to turn for your heading or whatever. I'm sure you could do something with this to do the same, where you turn the dial and it would actually tell you what your heading is, right? Where you could use those dials. That
MCP, not to take away from the developers, because I love anything when it comes to flight sim hardware, it's a glorified Stream Deck. It's using the same ideas. Button, display. The LED displays can show anything from a GIF to a moving video file. So you can even put a video file within a single tile. And then the rotary knobs or the dials, it's up to you what way you want to configure them. The Axbox gadget that we have, the multi-dial turner gadget thing. They're all the same. Yeah. They do the same thing. But I think just the advantage of going directly with Elgato with this one. Is because the main thing is the audio, the audio control you now have with their Wave platform. But it's that Stream Deck that I have. It's, as I said, that controls all my audio. That allows me to talk over audio. That's on a separate machine. Like, it can do some mad stuff, right? I'm not using 20% of its capabilities. Like, it can do so much. I can connect it to lighting if I want. I can connect it to all my audio, different sims or games. It can do different things. Like, that could become its own little MCP or an autopilot panel or whatever. It can do all of these things. And when you think about it, if you were looking at saying, oh yeah, you know, I really need to get some sort of an autopilot control or whatever, and I need to get something this, and you know, this thing does it all. And it gives you great controls. Like, if think about it, you're flying with a HOTAS system and you want to have, you know, additional buttons for your autopilot or whatever. There you go, man. It's right there. It's awesome.
Cool. Can I cover 2 other quick bits of hardware, Murph, real quick? I'll be brief.
Take as long as you want. The kettle is on.
Yeah.
Man.
So I have it again on my list there. So how many of us, just very briefly, run out of USB ports? I definitely do. I know you do, Murph, because we hear disconnecting all the time, right? I've got so many hubs too. They're like your Stream Decks that just multiply, right? I've got USB hubs all over the place. Everything's powered by USB and needs USB, isn't it? And you've only got so many ports. And what's our solution? Well, to get a hub, and then the hub might be not the right rating of power, or you might need to disconnect and reconnect the thing. This is the answer, folks. This is simply a load of USB ports that you get using a totally different bus within your machine, which is the PCIe bus, for £20.
Did you find it? You were telling me you couldn't find one.
For USB 3 connectivity, how many are there? There are 7 ports. Right, it is absolutely worth every penny. And when you plug it all in here, it's all on the fast bus within your PC, rather than it being an external device, freeing up the ports that you're already using. For £20, the reliability and the freedom that you have, and the less mess of everything connecting all over the place in your machine, etc., that this gives, is worth every penny. Unfortunately, not too much of a discount on it, but for £20, wanted just to call it out there because it's been a game changer.
Gibbo,
obvious.
Before I comment on this, because this is hilarious, it's after opening up my current shopping basket. There could have been anything in there, right?
What have we got? Screws?
A couple of screws, a couple of clamps.
Brackets. What have we got?
An old telly mount, right? I mean, there could have been jocks or anything in there. That's hilarious, right? But getting onto this thing, this is genius. Not to mention my address. You can send me stuff if you copped it. Send me something nice, though. Don't send me something like Gibbo did. Use jocks. But anyway, this is deadly. And the reason why this is deadly, I don't know about you, but I struggle something fierce by having USB hubs. Do they need to be powered? Then you power them, and then like the computer's like, what are you doing? Why are you powering those? And then you turn them on, and the whole thing is a head wrecker. And when you're looking at your PC, hang on, I got a couple of spare PCI slots going. Sure. You're now adding a ton more of capability, provided your power supply unit can power it. Be mindful of that. Because if you're plugging in stuff that have lights in them, for example, like throttles, they need a bit of power. If you're on like a 650 or 800 power supply, 800 watts, and your PC or your graphics card needs, 750, you're going to be limited, right? So you need to do your homework. But this is deadly, because you said you went looking for one of these and you found it hard to find it, and now you found it. So yeah, anyone who struggles with how many hubs do I need, and you're only plugging in kind of simple stuff, that is brilliant. I don't know about you, but like, I'm now getting one of I'll probably get 2 of these. I need these badly. I have extensions for friggin' extensions, like, do you know?
It just the reliability in particular, because that sound you get, that annoying Windows sound you get when something disconnects, it's been the cause of me dropping off a stream or 2 with you in the past as well, just something disconnecting. So, as I say, for 20 quid, you really can't go wrong.
Have you ordered one of these yet?
I have. I've yet to put it in, but yeah.
Let us know how it goes for you, and then I'll buy one.
Yeah, I'll be your guinea pig, sure. Yeah. So, Murph, on the other end of the spectrum, if you've been a very good boy or girl this year, right, and you want to put something on your shopping list for yourself, right, there is this next thing. Now, on our Discord, there have been a couple of folks looking about recommendations for cases. And I had to cover this. It's just out. In fact, I think it's only a day or 2 out on general release. But if you want to throw it up there, Murph, this is the successor to the case that you and I both currently have for our gaming rigs.
What one is this
It's
now?
number one under tech. Try and keep up there, mate.
Oh, the HY.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So this, folks, is called the Height Y70 Touch. Now this is expensive. I'm not going to lie. You can't hide from that price. But again, if you've been a very good boy, as I say, it's not insignificant, especially for a case. But this is a brand new case that comes in 4 different colors. Snow White. If you click through them from the right, white looks like a stormtrooper. It comes in red and it comes in black. This has a screen built into it, folks, right? A 4K high fidelity screen. And as you can see, if you click into it there, Murph, now this is a fully configurable screen that you get. You can have it. It comes with software, Height software that will set up stats and figures of your PC and how it's performing and its cooling and its temps and its speed and all that sort of stuff. But you can use that screen for any purpose at all that you wish. You can have your own wallpaper on it. You can have it running Navigraph if you wish. It's fully yours. It comes up as an extra display in Windows.
What?
And you can have, and you can use it any which way you see fit. Now, if you've got a case like mine that's kind of under the desk, it might be a bit overkill. But if you've got it, front and center on your desk, showing it off, then this might be a case that might be of interest to you. Not only that, and Murph, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this case, but this case has been phenomenal. As you'll see, right, just to call out, we'll wait till Murph finishes this video because this is an important point as to what this case offers. The whole side of it is hidden, so you can hide the PSU, you can hide your cable management very, very easily, and it's fully accessible as well. But what it really has to offer, as well as the screen, which is very cool, is the cooling. So out the back where your I/O is, that's one. Out the top is another that you can configure any which way you like. You can have fans on it, or you can have your radiator on it. Underneath is another, and then out to the other side of the glass case is another. So there's 4 different ways for air to travel through the case in order to keep the cooling down. This is absolutely phenomenal case. Absolutely can fit a 4090 and lots more besides. As such, while it is steep, there's no doubt about it. For those reasons, it might be worth considering if you're in the market for one.
That's the coolest thing ever. That screen is a friggin' touch screen.
It's a touchscreen. I left that part out. Yes, that's true. It's a touchscreen. 4K.
A 4K touch, right? I mean, think of the crack you'd have with that. That's absolutely deadly. I don't know where I saw this during the week. It came up in an alert. Could have been Jay's 2 cents or Linus, one of those. But I knew, I was just like, oh yeah, it's a case. Man alive, that's brilliant.
Yeah. Do you know what? With their software, you can play games.
Jesus.
I think it comes with their version of Tetris. They call it something else, and a few others as well. But yeah, because it's touchscreen, you can do that. So, it's definitely could be a party piece.
And even look at this. If you look at it here, right, they have thumbnails down the bottom. Steam, OBS, or whatever. Technically, it's a little Stream Deck because you can press the buttons there. In actual fact, you could probably put the Elgato Stream Deck, the one that you can the digital one.
Yeah, actually you could, because you can use this like a page where you swipe like your phone, right? You swipe nuts. The pages, and that's the way it works too. And you can also have it so if it goes over a certain temperature, the color will change and there'll be an alert, or it'll flash red, and you can do all that sort of stuff with it as well. But it's very, very nice. The Snow White one, I think, will probably be. You have a white one, Murph, don't you? Mine is black. Ours don't have the screen, of course, but I like the Snow White one.
Man alive, I need to ring GG Machines and say, listen, they're good. Like, 300, okay, they are pricey. They're 360 quid for a case, which is what? Probably 120 bucks more than usual. Yeah, for a case. But, I mean, the good news about this is definitely going to house more than one of your PCs in terms of you'll keep the same case for twice as long because you'll just get components to update it, right? New motherboard, new chipset, whatever. This is genius. I love it, man. This is awesome. This is like tech overload. It's deadly. I love that.
So just while you're on the screen, Murph, just very quickly, if you move your mouse over to the left hand side of the case,
Hello there.
so that's where that's where the I/O is. So that's one way. Yeah, just hover. It's just to show where I'm talking about. Yeah, so that's one way for air to travel, and depending upon the way you've got your radiators or fans set up. So for example, in my case, I wasn't too happy with the airflow initially, and it would just flip the fans so that exhaust went one way and air went the other, and it's just made a world of difference. So that's one way. Then underneath, where that adapter is for your graphics card, underneath that's raised and it's got cooling under it, and you can put fans there too. Looks very nice when you've got LED fans. Then above at the top, so that's again where you can fit, as I say, either a radiator or fans. So air can be traveling up there too. And then to the other side of the case, so it looks towards the back on this particular screen, but it's the other side of the case. That's the main way you'd probably have your radiators, or 3 120mm fans. So there's just so much cooling that this has to offer, and as I say, I'm in love with this case. I'm very happy. I just wish I had the screen like this one does, but there you go.
So later that day, Murph and Gibbo went off to buy one of these, and
yeah, you do need another PC, don't you? To be fair,
that's awesome. I love that. That is awesome, dude. That's a great find. Now it's on back order. Estimated shipping date looks like January, but I mean that it's
only just out. Yeah,
it looks so good, doesn't it?
Yeah, black one looks good too.
Oh yeah, I need one of those. Yeah. Thanks. Awesome. Right, have you something else, or can I do my stuff? You said you do.
No, well, let's hear your stuff.
Right. So this is going to be a little bit different now. Do you know the way I'm a little bit different? Now, hang on now. Flight Sim web shop. Why isn't the link over? Oh, Jesus. Hang on, I'll press a button in here now. And if anyone's looking at this stuff thinking, Jesus, lads, you're showing a load of stuff, we're going to post all of this stuff on Discord, so you're going to see where we're at, right? Anyway, there's two websites I want to show you. One of them is this one, and it is the flightsimwebshop.com, and you can pick up your add-ons from anywhere, right? Cyrus T is here. It's good to see you. 18 months, man. Thank you very, very much indeed. What's going to follow there from Shoot the Bandit? Welcome in. This stuff here, they're showing a ton of Black Friday deals, the Flight Sim web shop, and it's across you would think Thrustmaster were there, all their stuff, but also the next level racing gear is also discounted here. In fact, there's $100 off or €100 off a lot of their stuff, right? They also have the Velocity 1, that's discounted. They have a ton of Black Friday sales going on. They even have the Pro Gaming chairs from Next Level Racing, and then they have some Flight Sim components as well. Pretty cool, right? So it's Flight Sim web shop. That's the address where you can get it. But these guys stock the Class Echo. This is an add-on. I saw Two Cats had one of these, right? And basically it's a box, right, with a screen in the box. Very, very simple, very, very basic. It has a single dial operation on the side of it, but I thought it was cheap and cheerful considering what you get out of it. You know, you can put different panels onto it. Again, like an autopilot system, communication system. All that jazz is there as well. Sky Command is here. Welcome in, Sky Command. And the Butter Club. You're very welcome in, lads. We're doing Black Friday stuff. And it's costing me and Gibbo a fortune right now. But yeah, the Class Echo, like $55. Do you know what I mean? So I thought that was pretty cool, right? So if you want to find even more options for sales on hardware, they have the Next Level Racing, you know, the haptic gaming pad, you know, the chair thingy. Is that the one that Ali had? I think it was, right? That's discounted 16% off.
Myself to
you can pick it up. Myself. You can pick it up for like just over $200, which is a nice one, right? Nice one. Sky Command, you're very welcome in, dude. You're looking well. So that was one of them, Gibbo, right? Yeah. Another one, I need to find it now because it's buried in my emails. One second now. Jesus, where are my emails? There's a question. How many emails do you have? Or email addresses? Maybe not.
Email address is a great question, yeah. You all right?
Yeah, where is this?
You use one for all the spammy stuff, don't you?
All the time, right? All the time. Now, Flight Store. Flightstore.co.uk, and I'm sure there's a similar one over in the US. But these lads have the Black Friday sales with up to 50% off, and this covers. They have a bit of Flight Sim stuff in there, but this is more to do with, we're going to show you now. Aircraft models, pictures, uniforms, shirts. They sell ADSBs if you want to buy them. They're supplies for pilots, right? So if you wanted to say, Jesus, yeah, I wouldn't mind getting some of the gear. Well, they have a massive Black Friday sale on right now. For instance, where's this we're looking at here now? Christmas stuff that'll kind of half lead us into Christmas stuff. But where the aviation aircraft models? So if you're into your Gemini jets, for example, or even the Corgi stuff, there's an absolute ton of stuff for sale here, and they're all some of them have like 25% off. If you're into decorating your room with all sorts of models and stuff, what to wear on stream is there. But no, I thought it was very, very good because they have a ton of sales, right? Anything, think about it. Anything you think that a pilot needs, from bags, cases, knee boards, all that jazz there. And as flight simmers, well, we're going to use some of that. Maybe the knee board, definitely. Because, if you're going to be doing some of this training in the real world, well, you need to know what it's all about, right? This sort of stuff. It's pretty cool. And you can use these for your sim flying as well. And they're heavily discounted. These things are usually dear. Look at this one here. Look, that's awesome. Flyboys kneeboard olive drab cover, and it's £31. You're saving 22%. They also have the Poolies kneeboard, 23 quid. Right? So again, it's another kind of look at that. And that's where you can pick it up. So I thought I'd share that,
Is that where you got me my Boeing my F-18
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah. It looked bigger online.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but yeah.
Yeah, that's
it looked bigger online. Yeah, I get 2 sentences per page. It's fine, Murph.
Yeah, right.
It's the thought that counts, man.
But no, kids version. Yeah, the kids version. Yeah. And don't make mistakes because once you use it, you use it. Yeah. But no, I thought it was pretty cool. Now, of course, the last couple of hardware stuff, especially for Black Friday, right? And I'll run down through these quickly. But for Black Friday sales, I've a list of where the discounts are at, Gibbo, right?
You do?
I do. So Virpil, for example, Virpil currently have a 25% Black Friday sale. Check out Virpil if you like that hardware and you like Virpil stuff. I'm a huge fan of it. 25% Black Friday sale. What else? Tobii. I'm an ambassador to Tobii. I absolutely love the product, and the Tobii Eye Tracker 5, which I cannot sim without it, that's 20% off for Black Friday. The Tobii, really, really good value there. Thrustmaster, as we've seen, up to 35% off. Virtual Fly, what do they call it? Yoko the Yoke and Ruddo the Rudder. They have some very good discounts there as well. And last but not least, Pimax. For the VR users, Pimax have a 50% sale. What? Pimax? You know Pimax? You know the VR stuff?
I do, yeah. They do phenomenal VR headset.
Absolute class stuff, right? Now, they do stuff that's like tens of thousands, but look at this. That's the Crystal Sim gadget. Where is it now? Shop now for the Black Friday deals, right? And this is just the Pimax website. But you see, look, 50% off some of the gear, lads. It's absolutely nuts, right? So the Pimax Crystal, $160 off. What? And then you have all this other stuff down here. Huge discounts. $500 off. What? Huge stuff, right? So if you like Pimax and you're into all that stuff, check it out. There are some huge savings here. An 8K Pimax unit, $818 reduced from $1,300. $481 sale. It's huge. So I thought I'd share that. I met you. But that's your man, remember? He was at the place with the thing. He was wearing a tank top and I said, look at your man in the tank top. Do you remember? That's brilliant. Jesus, he's famous. He's famous.
Stadia. Yeah, but I think you win the award for the most expensive thing then. What was that headset? 1,500 quid, was it?
1,500, yeah. Actually, no, 2,037.
Can I throw in one thing real quickly that's expensive but nowhere near as expensive as your stuff?
Go on.
Because you get asked this all the time, right? And it's your TV. Right, I have it on my list there. So Murph has the LG C1. I think it's the 55 or the 48. 55, let's say. It's that Murph has. Loves it. Absolutely the best. And he talked me into it, as you can hear. to get one as well. I got the C2, right, and I got the 48-inch, and I had a ultra wide monitor before. It was a 30 something inch, and then went for 48-inch TV. And again, one of those purchases I've never looked back. Absolutely the best purchase I could, and I wanted to share this with you because I came across this one, the C3, the 2023 latest and greatest model, same size as mine, but it's down to just a little over £1,000 as well. So you get asked all the time about your monitor because it's on show and on the stream. I had no regrets. Absolutely the best buy. It's not just how it makes the sim look, which is phenomenal in 4K natively, but also all the extras that you get, including the smart OS and so forth that comes with it, the ability to be able to plug in loads of things into it, the picture-in-picture. So there has been the odd time I've had the sim in one picture and the football in another. That's just me. I just love it. So this C3 is even better again, and at its lowest price ever. So again, if you're in the market, I just wanted to call it out because I felt a bit better that I wasn't quite as expensive as Murph. And I just wanted to let you know.
I like fancy things, Gibbo. What can I say? I'm high market. High maintenance.
Do you want one of these too? Is that what you're saying?
Well, right. So, the OLED I have, how long have I got this now? Would I have it 2 years?
A while, yeah.
Right. So, I think it's a fact now. Any OLED set, there is burn-in. There just is, right? Now, there's ways around it. There's ways you can kind of fix it up. And on my beloved screen, I have burn-in. Now, it's nothing to, it's nothing to interfere with what I'm watching on the screen. It's there. I notice it in various kind of lighting. If certain colors hit the screen, I'll say, oh, what's that? So burn-in is a huge thing. Now, there's ways, of course, you can restrict burn-in. It has its own technology built in there to kind of move things around. If you're watching, see, like the LG sign up at the top of the screen, it'll shake that around and move things around. So if you've never used OLED before, it's just something to consider. You run the risk of burn-in if you're leaving things like your Windows taskbar on all the time. That'll eventually burn in. So you have to kind of do a couple of things, like turn it to auto hide, or you know what I mean, that kind of stuff. However, the trade-off is this: you will not get a more crisp or immersive display, in my opinion, than what you will get with this LG OLED system. You just won't get it. Now, I haven't tried out Samsung or anyone else's, but for me, this OLED system from LG, it's another game changer. Like, I was the Muppet that took so long to go to 4K, and it wasn't just 4K. I was like, okay, is it LD or LED? Do I go crystal LED? Do I go OLED? Do I go QLED? I didn't know what to get. OLED is where I did all my research in 4K, and how it defines the colors, but most importantly, the blacks. They are super black and high refresh rate, 120 hertz. I don't know what this new one goes up to. Is it the same, or? That's about... I
don't know. It's probably even higher. It could be higher. Murph, I accept your point about burn-in. Absolutely, it's a feature of OLED. Yeah. But two quick things. One is it's come on leaps and bounds since the C1, which is what you have, even to mine the C2, and now with this, I'd say it's probably its key feature with the C3. So they are really improving the situation, getting around it. It is a native feature of OLED, but it's nowhere near as bad as even model year before or the year before that again. And secondly, if you use it right.
Well, yeah.
If you use it right, you've drastically reduced the chances of that too. So, for example, I've been on an hour and a bit probably, and it's come up twice already on my screen. Your screen is about to turn off because I have the setting to make sure that it's not a fixed static image that's constantly on the screen to affect burn-in. So I'm a bit over the top with that, but I do have my remote handy all the time that I can actually just press it and make it go away, because I want this to last forever. So so if you take care of it, there's ways to overcome that.
But it's me, like, I break things, right? But
do you even have your remote anymore? I don't.
I do. I actually have it right here. But whenever that comes up on the screen, I say, "Yeah, go away," right? And I don't change the screen. It's like that stupid, annoying auto turn off. What's it doing that for? And then I realize, yeah, because the screen is burning away there. Now, it's. I'm not saying it to put people off. It's, as I said, I have burning on my screen, but like, and I know where I got it from. I probably left the sim, and I did. This is pretty much what happened. I left the sim installing overnight without turning off the monitor, and at the time, I had it on super brightness, super friggin' vibrant mode, and I turned off all the auto shutdown stuff. So the screen was on full blast, like the feckin' Batman symbol in the sky for an entire night. And I came back down the next morning, and the teeny tiny, but it's only like a shadow. And even at that, it's hard to see it. The lighting has to be in a certain way. So I'm not saying that to put you off. It's just it's that's what you get, as Gibbo said. But
it's a good call out, to be fair, yeah.
But I do stand by this. You will not get a better viewing experience, I think, than these TVs. Man, aren't they like they're just incredible.
Love it. I really do. I don't regret it for a minute. And I had a good ultra wide monitor. I had the Predator, I think the Acer Predator. Before that, it was a really high end monitor, and you know, got rid of that and helped fund the TV, and it's just been so nice. And as you say, in particular the blacks, but the saturation, the color across the board has been great. And yeah, mine is 144 hertz. I think I don't know what this one is.
120.
Memory serves. 150, so even better again. So anyway, it's the latest and greatest 2023 model. You get asked all the time about your monitor, so I just wanted folks to know that this one's at its lowest price ever as well.
Awesome, dude. Awesome find. Like there's so much hardware when you think about it, and like everything, it's flight sim related, right? Because we're saying, well, sure, you know, we're flight simmers. I mean, this is what we want. We want the best visuals, the best sound, the best graphics. And there's also one here for you, and it is a plug to our sponsor, GG Machines, because, well, great bunch of lads, right? Anyway, GG Machines are running a 5% Black Friday sale across all their gaming PCs. So there is a 5% discount across their entire range of gaming machines. And they've now released the new computer lineup, right? And you can customize things. And 19,699, Gibbo.
Really, Murph? You've got something for 19 grand?
Just
oh my god.
Just, you know, just to kind of, right? Right? It's a server, but like mother to God, right? This thing has like something like 4 4090s and something else in there. Basically, this is going to put you on the planet, and it's designed for AI engineering for like tech companies. That's just kind of GG Machines flexing kind of where they're at. They know how to put together machines, and I am going to plug them because, well, my machine is from GG Machines. Gibbo, I know you bought yours from GG Machines, and we've had a couple of reviewers, including Black Ice Gabe, who bought one from GG Machines as well. They know what they're at when they're building a sim or when they're building a PC. You tell them, hey, I wanted to do this. They're not going to steer you wrong, right? Now, that's not to say that you can't still tweak your system. You can say, no, I want this because, I mean, we all know flight sims at the moment, until I actually do that comparison, they prefer NVIDIA. Just do. Microsoft Flight Sim runs better on NVIDIA. End of story. However, when I tested the one at GamerFest back in last month in the RDS, that was an AMD rig, and man alive, did that thing run very well. Like it every bit as good as NVIDIA. So now it's left me scratching my head thinking, well, what's the best? I need to figure that one out, right? But GG Machines, 5%, lads. If you're in Ireland or anywhere in Europe, and even in the UK, give them a shout. Give Rob a shout and just say, listen, I'm thinking of putting together something. Can you recommend one to me? They're more than happy to help you out. They really, really are. And
do you have a picture, Murph, just while you're talking about GG, do you have a picture of the case that we saw at the GamerFest?
Yes, check it out.
That thing was incredible. I've never seen anything like it. If you haven't, I found the link and I can shoot it over to you.
No, we haven't here. The only thing, it looks fierce, aggressive, and dangerous. Where's it gone?
It looks like Predator. You know, Alien and Predator. That's what it looks like.
Oh yeah,
Predator.
Yeah, we'll find it in here. They've just updated everything, so it could be gone for the hop. Have you got a link?
Yeah, send it to you.
Ah, yes.
It's on their Insta, and it's of them building it. But they had this machine which they were building for GamerFest, which Murph was at for one of the days, there for you to be able to look at. And it was it was open. It was a case that was, I don't know how the dust would be on this, but look at it. It's totally open.
Isn't that mad?
It looks like Predator. Do you not think?
Oh, it does.
I'm making that up.
No, it does.
Yeah.
So it's an open frame PC build with the Antec Torque case. And that came with a 4090 AMD Ryzen 9 79X3D and all sorts of holy moly going on there. Isn't that mad looking?
Yeah.
I'd be no good there. I'd sneeze in the shagging thing and it'll be lights out. Jesus. Right.
It's afraid to touch it, yeah.
Yeah, or the cat will jump into it or something. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? That'd be my luck. But yeah, it's so cool to see that stuff. And like, what I love about this, like in Ireland, specifically Ireland, we've never had access to this sort of stuff. Like there was a couple of computer shops around the place, you know what I mean? But like they never specialised in this stuff. GG Machines specialise in it. And it's great to find them there, you know. They also have mouse pads. So tell me about the mouse pads.
Oh dear.
So I have to collect one. Where is it now? The XXL gaming mouse pads. But very soon, lads, there's a two-tone Murphy one going to be there. Do they have it listed yet?
Is it going to have your face on it?
No.
Oh,
it should though.
That's good.
I should have done that. But for example, you can get like this, Star Trek one. Like they're only €40. Do you know what I mean? And they're a huge mouse pad, massive one. You know what I mean? So there's a TTM one. I need to kind of that's the one we want. But I'll more details on that soon. I'll let you know what the crack is. But look, brilliant.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's not a PC, it's a spaceship. Indeed. Yeah, so no, that was awesome, dude. That was awesome. Now, what else? I still have more stuff. This is brilliant. Where are we at now? Well, we have our Christmas list to go through. We'll use that now at the very end, right? Pimax, I got all of those. So for your Flight Sim add-ons, just to recap on where you're going to get the Black Friday sales, right? MM Simulations, 40% off. FS Dream Team, as Gibbo said, for GSX, up to 40% off. Field Air, who make sceneries, 40% off. NZA Simulations, they've huge discounts. Miltech Simulations, they've huge discounts. And the usual places like, Rex, Just Flight, Anybills, Sim Market, FlightSim.to, Got Friends have a huge discount as well, 50% off. So there's some incredible discounts to be got in the next kind of, 48 hours, I would say. But I suppose we'll open this one up out to the chat, Gibbo, because we've been chatting non-stop here for a minute. Out of everything that we've seen, or maybe we forgot something, lads, is there anything that you're looking forward to that you want to pick up, that you've seen it? Maybe we showed it tonight. Could be hardware, could be software, it could be Flight Sim related. Is there anything that you said, hey, this is like brilliant? Do you know, we're going to get one of these? That'll be interesting. Like what's on your list, on your shopping list? Because we're going to go through our shopping list for add-ons in a moment. But this is like, what's your shopping list for the Black Friday sales? Adding in there, Mad Meredith says we can retire now on the commission we made. Yeah, there's a couple of wallets now screaming. Stream Deck, yeah. If you don't have a Stream Deck, it's brilliant. You still have your Gateway 2000 mouse mat from 30 years ago. Man, Scorpio, that's the way to do. Do you remember Gateway? Brilliant.
I used to work for them, Scorpio. Clonshock, yeah.
Gibbo made the mouse mat. Gateway.
I support the people having problems with the mouse mat. Yeah.
My mouse mat isn't working.
Believe it, that's what you get. I swear.
Brilliant.
I swear.
So Dan is looking at the Tobii Eye. Yeah, brilliant. B. Carlo says, please tell me the two-tone mouse mat doesn't have a SCODA on it. Shh, I said too much, B. Carlo. Lenny Brooks says, I'll spend less. I'm going to get the 737-600. Nice. Ibanez already ordered the USB card arriving tomorrow. Thanks, Gibbo. Come on yourself, Ibanez. Dragon says, the only thing I want is a 4090, but I can't afford it. That's, hang on now. 4090.
They're reduced too.
Yeah. Where did
particularly the 4080, but the 4090 as well.
Where did I see this now? Let's see here now. Black Friday deals, 4090, 30. Where's the 4090? 4070, 4070, 4060, 4090 deals. 5%, 94 quid off. So they're on Amazon, like $100 off. Why not, right? Best Buy. Can you buy it direct from Nvidia? You can, look. 1,500 quid.
Yeah.
They were $2,500.
Way down, yeah.
I
think the 4080 I saw for a little over £1,000, maybe 1,100. So, yeah, they're getting there.
Check out Amazon. You're going to see savings for them, lads. When it comes to the graphics cards, FS Realistic Pro is a great deal. It really is. Let me see now. Buying a real plane, it'll be cheaper. Big Papa Polly.
So, Murph, I have two last things for you, right?
Sure.
So, while you're over the Christmas and holiday period, right? In between Two Tom Murphy streams, of course, and you're sick of the family, and you're wanting to relax and do something to entertain yourself. I have to recommend this particular site. As I said at the start, no strings attached. It's just my personal recommendation, and you might pull it up there, Murph. It's number 2 on the list. I just wanted to let you know that I came across this because it is absolutely above board. It is absolutely legit, and it's called CD Keys. Right, a lot of you might be familiar with this, but this is a place you go to buy keys for games. It's not just games, by the way. You can also get Xbox Gold membership. And tons more points for FIFA. The list kind of goes on, but you name it, including The Sim, by the way, it's here, including the latest and greatest games that are just out. The way the site was, so to give you an example, some of them, there's Murph will scan through and pick some of his favorites, but there's Spider-Man Remastered just out, EA 24 just out. Spider-Man, by the way, is €25. EA, which was, I think, when I bought it, about 90? No, 100.
Ouch.
I paid €100 for Gibbo Jr. to get early access granted to FC24. Here on CD Keys, you can get it for 35. Hogwarts Legacy is there, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, and by the way, you can get the different variants as well. So if you want the standard edition, you can choose that from a drop down. Do you want it for the Xbox? You can choose that from a drop down as well. So you'll get different prices. Last of Us Part 1 for the PC, which I'm dying to play, I still haven't. €26.
Jesus,
Grand
look,
Theft Auto.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is $14.89.
It's absolutely incredible. So I just wanted to share this with you because I speak from being a user of this site, having bought a couple things from them. It's absolutely legit. It's absolutely above board. The way it works is you can use your PayPal if you wish, or your card or whatever, and it immediately there and then, as well as emails you the key, which you just go into the redeem feature of wherever it tells you, mainly the store. 9 times out of 10, and there you get it, and it's yours forever to keep. But how this site works in the background, in case you're curious as to how this is possible, is that they go across the world, across all the internet sites, and find these deals, find these places where they're available, in a local market, for example, that is selling them cheaper than it would be in your particular country, and offers them here. And that's how, and they've connected it all up so that it's immediate. You're not waiting 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever. You get it within seconds of hitting that buy now button. So I just wanted to call out, if you happen to be bored over the holiday period and wanting to dip into a new game, or maybe waiting for a game to be reduced, this is the place to go. And this is one of a number of sites, but this is the one I can speak to because I'm a user myself and wanted to let you know.
Resident Evil 2 is a $5. Jesus. Why have I only learned about this now? Oh my!
It's phenomenal.
Well, I don't have time to play the stuff, but man alive, look at the savings there. Like I be, go on to Steam. Now Steam will have their own sales as well.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Nothing like this, man.
Nothing like this. And even things like what cost me a fortune from Gibbo Jr. as well. It's FIFA points. Oh my God. And Fortnite stuff. It's, again, that's also here. Xbox membership, 12 months. It's there. So it's more if you wanted with a different edition. But, as I say, you get all the drop downs. There's F1 23, Murph, that we were looking at, down to 35. I mean, that was crazy money when it first came out, only a month or two ago.
That's nuts, man.
So that's something to keep us all entertained over the Christmas period if we're looking for something to do. And then the other thing that we might be looking to do as well, and this is totally for free, but it's worth just throwing out there again, just as a reminder, is perhaps, and this is my intent, over the Christmas period, you want to jump into VATSIM. It's worth just mentioning again, and I've covered this on a video, so I won't belabor too much, but it's just worth just mentioning again VATCord, which we have in the Two Tom Murphy Discord. The problem that I see, and it still hasn't been fixed to this day since VATCord even came out, is that if you want to jump into an area and are wondering if a controller is there, you can of course go into the map, but if you're planning to go in, you need jeepers, Smurf, thanks very much. State of him, look at that. He's a haircut there, man. Yeah, he needs a button, another button done or something, right? No, but VATCord lets you know when a controller comes online or offline for ICAOs of interest to you, uniquely to you. So it's a free service on the Discord, as I say, that you can sign up to be notified when a controller comes online. So if, on the 25th, you want some time to yourself to be able to go fly in an area and you're wondering if someone in a ICAO of your choosing is online or when they come online, this is the best place to know. And particularly when you're starting off with VATSIM, it's great to concentrate on one location because you get to get familiar with it. You get to know the controllers that are there. You get to know the charts. You get to know the approaches. It's always best to start in one particular place and kind of stick to that before you branch out elsewhere. And VATCord is just something just to remind you, if that's what you're looking to get into, VATSIM flying over the holidays exists, is for free, and is worth using to help you out.
Oh, dude, awesome! I absolutely love it, and it's like VATCord is so handy because you get the alert to say, "Hey, such and such is a controller on. Adam is on, brilliant. Let's go flying and wreck his head." I mean, fly very professional. I love it. I love it. It's really, really good, dude. It's just awesome.
Yeah. I think people will use VATSIM over the holidays, and there'll be increased activity with controllers coming online and offline. But particularly because, as you know, we're always told to fly locations that and this helps you know when they're available.
Absolutely, dude. Awesome stuff. Right, the FlightSimage shopping list. What do we think should be on it? We're not going to have a penny left now after buying all this stuff. But when it comes to our FlightSim add-ons for Christmas, Christmas is coming, and we're thinking, right, what do we want to be getting, right? Well, there was a couple of ones. I kind of have my favourites, right? And we'll do a comparison then, because Gibbo, you'll give us your favourites, and we'll just have a kind of a general kind of a chat about them to see what we think, right? And sure, guys, let us know in the chat as well what you think, what the story is going to be as well, right? So to start us off, I'm just going to start with the GA stuff, right? We don't need to delve into it, but these are definitely some of the aircraft that I think, if you've missed them or, you haven't had a chance to use them yet, keep an eye on them, right? So for me, right, the general aviation, the top aircraft on my list, now bearing in mind, I know what Gibbo has as well, but I have to say, if you haven't already tried it, the TBM 850 from Black Square is one of the best you can get in Microsoft Flight Sim. That thing is a friggin' masterpiece. And like that kind of a title or that sort of a standard, it's shared now with a lot of other add-ons. But the TBM 850, if you were to say, right, why do you want the TBM 850 more than anything else, or based over a very similar performing aircraft? Well, it's faster. She's fast, right? The TBM is going to get you in and out of places a little bit faster, right? So the TBM 850 is definitely on my list. Also, I've two others, and these are really, Murph, really, yeah, right? The upcoming PC-12 by SWS, right? And that's coming out soon. And funny that Gibbo, I'm great for the segues. Next week, I think next week, we'll be starting a ground school course on a Wednesday night. You know the ground school courses that we do? So we're going to be doing one on a PC-12, and we have a real world PC-12 pilot going to be joining us live on stream, talking and teaching us about the intricate systems that are modeled within the SWS product based on the feedback that this pilot and a few others gave the developers to say, the real aircraft does this. We're going to learn to fly this plane in the sim as if it were the real aircraft. Totally excited about that. But the PC-12, when it releases, that's got to be on your radar, on your shopping list. And then last but not least, of course, is the iconic A2A Comanche. As releases go this year, as one of the top 5 aircraft, the A2A Comanche is right there. It's an absolute masterpiece. From a first release in this platform of flight simulation, A2A knocked it completely out of the ballpark. Home run. It's incredible. And it's getting plenty of updates all the time. Like there's a beta channel there where, we're messing around with betas every other week. Scott and the team are flat out busy developing that. We have plenty of more aircraft on the way, and that's stuff we're going to be looking forward to next year. So, Gibbo, where did you land with your general aviatione? What's your favourites?
Everything you just said, Murph. Honestly, I can't disagree with it at all. And I have to repeat it. You know, the Comanche, incredible. The TBM 850, incredible. And as I said at the start, the FSR 500, of course, absolutely, you know, incredible, top of the list. So those threes, I think you're well covered with GA flying. On the non-GA flying, if you like, in my opinion, and I know you might feel different than this, and that's okay. There's always been the airliners. I mean, the BMDG 73s, and then the Phoenix, and then you could throw in your biz jets there too, and then into the GAs and the turboprops, and in between hasn't been amazing. But I think the ATR, right, 42 and 72, has got, you know, a lot to offer. I really do. Right, it's not without its problems. Don't get me wrong. But I really think that offers you something that is a great bridge in between, that does give you a newness and a freshness of the big airliners versus the GA as well to get your teeth into, and that's well worth a look. As I say, it's not without its problems, and it has had updates with EFBs and so forth. It was $20 when it originally came out with a discount. What was it, a 30% discount, I think, for premium edition users. But it's really worth another look. You know, as I say, is it perfect? No. What is? But in terms of what it offers, that bridge in between, as well as it not being a Boeing, you know, cockpit or an Airbus cockpit, is refreshing. And I think it's got a bit of a bad rap. And we kind of were looking forward to it so much, and then when it released, we kind of went, okay, and then moved on. And it's worth coming back to, in my opinion. So that for me, especially considering the price available in the instant marketplace, is what I'm looking forward to jumping into over the holiday break.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. I love the ATR. So a quick summary of the top 5, and there's no particular order to these of GA, because
we're sticking on GA. Sorry,
well, no,
I diverted then.
No, you didn't, because now we're jumping back into what you said. So
okay,
just for the snippage part, my favorite, and I think they are the best general aviation aircraft available in Microsoft Flight Sim at the moment, in no particular order, but they're all excellent. The TBM 850, the PC-12 that you will see, of course, FS Reborn's M500 or the FSR 500. That is it's a sim-defining moment, right, of what's capable, its class. The HUA Comanche, and last but not least, of course, it has to be, and this is a very, very, you know, is it going to be the Flight Simware 414, or is it going to be Blackbird's Cessna 310R? For me, it's got to be the Cessna 310R. I love the 414. It's a brilliant, brilliant airplane, but the Cessna from Blackbird, I think, is really, really good. So that'd be kind of my top 5. As Gibbo says about the prop liners, the ATR, without a shadow of a doubt, that thing is brilliant, and it's so versatile. You have two different types of aircraft, be it the 42 or the 72, or was it 62 and 72? 42 or 72? 42
and 72, yeah.
Yeah, they're awesome. And if you want to look at kind of similar aircraft in the kind of, you know, prop liners, the DC-6, it's still a classic. It's still excellent. The DC-6 is by far one of my favorite aircraft in the sim, because PMDG, they did such a great job in it. It's a wonderful airplane, and the depth is incredible, right? That's notwithstanding the new release of the Shorts 330. I really, really like that plane. It's mad looking, but I think Black Box did a great job. But that's kind of a regional prop liner kind of a thing. And then I threw one in there for good measure. You can't bait the LDC3. I mean, that thing is I'd love it to be better than it is, right? But it's still pretty good as it is. They're my favorite when it comes to the prop stuff. Definitely, you know.
Total agreement.
Gibbo, what about the airliners though? Like the jets?
Yeah, the airliners. I mean, obviously the PMDG and Phoenix are right up there. Aside from that, you've got your 146, you've got your F-28. What do you think of that? Like, I'm still leaning towards the 146. Because I think it's more familiar. It's closer to home, right?
Yeah, like when you think about it, like we don't really have a massive array. Like we don't have a huge choice here. Like the Mad Dog is great. You know, that thing has been getting some solid updates, and it's a very different type of airplane. TFDI design with the MD-11, but I haven't got my hands on that yet. It's kind of a strange kind of space right now. I think to kind of echo what you were hitting at earlier on with the the Horizon 789, that thing has like breathed all sorts of new life into airliner flying in the sim. And that's not to take away from PMDG. I mean, they have their updates with their EFB, EFB, and we're waiting on Phoenix to give us an update on their stuff as well, including they're bringing out the 318 and the 19. So the airliner stuff, like Just Flight again, kind of hit a home run when they brought out the F-28 and the the 146, because they're very different aircraft. They're not your standard Boeing 737 or A320, and I like that. It gives us great kind of choice. You know what I mean? So yeah, you're not one for the choppers, or are you?
No, Murph, I leave that to you.
Grand. I have a list of 3 that I think you should have. Well, there's probably 4. Anything from High Performance Group is great. Brilliant. High Performance Group, incredible work, right? So the H160, that new one, it's beautiful. The 145 is beautiful, and the Freeware 135, that's got to be on your list, even if you just want to go experiment flying with choppers, right? Okay. The Fly Inside Bell 47, that's a masterpiece, and it's getting better. And these guys have an official agreement with Bell Helicopters to bring more into the sim, so I'm looking forward to that. Teg's Hangar, the Alouette 3 is probably my favorite, and of course now you have the Llama out as well. And there's a couple of other bits and bobs. I was throwing my hand at a UH-60 a couple of days ago. Black Hawk, Black Hawk Down.
I do.
What was your man's name who fell to Port Ivil? Blackburn, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Blackburn. Yeah. Port Ivil Blackburn. Okay. Yeah. Someone in our group, we're going to start calling them Blackburn. But yeah, so the choppers, we're getting some nice choppers, and there's tons more on the way. What about the military stuff? You mentioned earlier on, I mean, you're really looking forward to that F-14, right?
Oh, did you see it? I mean, I don't know if I've seen anything of it's like in the sim. Honestly, that looked stunning. And if we can get a touch of what the interior of a DCS Heapler, offering can look like, we're absolutely way ahead. So I cannot wait. Now I am worried about the pricing. Do you know the pricing of that? Or maybe you can't say if you do.
I can't say.
I'm worried. Yeah, that has me worried. But that looked phenomenal. And in comparison to what we kind of have, I think there's room for improvement. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, and that would be one I'd be in a lot. The Vulcan looks interesting for sure, but if it was a pick between the two, I'd have to kind of wait and see. I'm interested to see how both fly as well.
Well, here's the thing, right? So the Vulcan, it's I'll use the usual, it's a totally different kind of flying, but it is. The Vulcan, like it's I don't know, man. It's just a delta wing. I mean, that was like a lot of stuff on the Vulcan went on to Concorde and all this kind of jazz with the aerodynamics. But yeah, it's pretty deadly. It is pretty deadly. Like, I suppose the F-14 from Heapler, it looks incredible. That's just going to be on the list. The Vulcan, absolutely on the list. It's Jesus, right? There's an awful lot of stuff, isn't there? There really is. Like, it's getting ridiculous. Utility aircraft, this is kind of anything else in between. So we talk about utility aircraft. For me, the Transall, the C-160, that's a big, heavy utility airplane. I love it. I think the Transall is great. The updates are really, really good. They've added parachuters and all this sort of jazz. And we saw, the new Tecnam stuff. They're kind of, they could be a little bit boring because they're slow, but now that they have the mission packs added onto them, kind of changes the game a little bit. I suppose, what aircraft are you probably most looking forward to?
Oh, you know me, Murph. You know me. You know what I'm going to say. The A380.
A380, man.
I'm waiting. So I was looking forward to the Blackbird as well. I mean, where is that? I'm still waiting. But yeah, the A380 out of them all, I just think it offers something unique with the familiarity of flying an Airbus, but with the heaviness and the size of it and the 4 engines. I'm so looking forward to that. So yeah, that will be up there for sure. But yeah, there's been a lot that we've been promised or are coming, and we're still yet to see. So it's gonna be an interesting year ahead.
Oh, definitely. Like, when we look at next year and what 24 is going to bring, apart from a freaking new sim, right? That's why I have a feeling that A320 might appear itself in the next iteration of Flight Sim. I hope I'm wrong. But yeah, like there's a lot.
What about you? What are you looking forward to out of everything that's going?
Jesus, now.
One. You pick one.
I can't just pick one. I know so well. I know so much, Gibbo. But I do. I know so many things that are in development, and I can't say boo to. I know stuff that are in development for the next thing, and I can't even say boo to. But I will say this.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it's shocking.
We'll have to have a code system.
Yeah, it's one of these. Right. Don't worry. I keep all my secrets safe. I'll tell you though after a couple of beers. But yeah, like. The main ones I'm looking forward to. Yes, the A380, without a shadow of a doubt, man, that thing looks incredible. PMDG's 777, gotta be checking that thing out. Like that's just beautiful flying, right? The MD-11, I really want to get my hands on that. I love the news that Flying Iron are bringing out a B-17. Of course, I'm waiting on the Lancaster and the Hurricane because I'm just into me Warbird stuff. The Herc is on the way. That looks awesome. And there's a smithering of other projects in the business jet range that I'm super excited for, because it's well, there's stuff happening and stuff will happen that's going to make our jaws drop, and it's serious competition for any other flight sim platform. With some of the stuff on the way. Do you know what I mean? But I'm very good at keeping secrets. I once forgot, right? This is tell you now, right? Me mate, what was this one? Oh yeah. What? It was either a pregnancy or was a wedding. That's how good I am at keeping secrets.
I can't remember.
I forget them. I become bulletproof. It's like, Murph, do you know something? Couldn't tell you. And it's very, very important. It was the wedding. It was the wedding. That's what it was. It was about a wedding, right? And I was told, you can't say nothing to anyone. Not even the missus. And I said, Jeez, I can't not tell the missus if she's going to a wedding. You're not to tell anyone. Right, says I. And I actually forgot. And they were saying, what are you doing next weekend? I don't know. I might head down the country. No, you can't. We're getting married. What? Right. Do you know, I was the best man in everything. Terrible funny. But that's what I do.
Oh, man.
Right. But, dude, there's been so much here tonight, and we will compile a full list. We're going to post it on Discord. If anyone wants to see exactly what we were doing, where we got all our information from, we've all the Black Friday deals. A lot of those deals are running for a couple of days, right? It's not just on Friday. Some of them are only Friday.
Correct, yeah. Most of them for a week, so you mightn't want to dilly-dally too much. You might want to act kind of fast, because they will go, especially coming up to the Christmas period where they'll want full price. So act sooner rather than later if there's anything that you're really thinking about strongly.
Absolutely. Right, dude, what a
It's been a pleasure, dude.
It's great having
Thanks
you
for
back.
having me.
The place hasn't been the same without you.
I've been very well behaved. I haven't slagged you too much in either. You know, so
well, you wore
that
the
has to change.
You wore the jumper, like, in fairness. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
you know you're jealous, man. You know you're jealous.
Yeah, jealous, yeah. They're the ones they were giving away. Weren't they giving them away free at the traffic lights there a couple of weeks ago?
You're so funny. Funny looking.
Free. Oh, Julia. Brilliant. Dude, it's been an absolute pleasure having you back on board. And, dude, you brought, like, Dolby Atmos. Feckin' new box gadget case. My USB hubs are now sorted. What was the other thing? There was something else.
Oh, well, look, you still won it with 20 grand of something. What was it? Of a computer. So
yeah. They're good and cheap.
You win.
They're good and cheap. But no, awesome as usual. So we shall get all this information up on Discord so you guys can have a look at. And but that's it. Do join us this coming Friday. We have a group flight. What are we doing this Friday? Oh yeah, what are we doing this? Oh yeah, C-160 flight. Yes, I remembered. I'm pretty organised these days. I have next week's plan. Half planned. Right. What we do? Yeah, C-160 flight in South Africa. We're going over to your man to steal the cup. Right. Faf de Klerk. We're going over to him, and we're going to take the cup from there in a C-160 Transall. So why not? Flying in South Africa. So that's from 8:00 on Friday evening, and yeah. That's kind of it from us. So, Gibbo, thank you very, very much indeed for all the helpage and support and all the research, man. I mean, you found some absolute dingers there.
Sure.
Brilliant.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Good to see you, chat. Till next time.
That was, see, I can't do hand over.
You need to be smoother, Murph. You need to work on that now. I'll give you tips.
Will you give us tips? I'll tell you.
Bob, yeah.
I'll tell you what's coming out next year. How's that? I mean, it won't.
Nice one.
Yeah. It'll totally work. Right.
I'll let you know later.
To everyone on YouTube and on Twitch, lads, a very good night to you. Take care. That was pretty damn smooth now. That came out of nowhere.
You've gotten better.
Right, do you know? Oh, look at this. Look at the livery, lads. Oh, beautiful. Look at that for an